our PlayStation themes all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that dank shit on my left. Blue.
And she leaned up to me and whispered in my ear, "Were you willing to die to fuck this pussy?" And I was like,
On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on threes and fours, Chronos.
In Russia, Borat trolls you.
In the middle, we got your boy Stitch.
Oh, God.
Very nice.
Oh, man, I can't even think what I was going to say. He threw off my whole flow with that. That was a good one.
All right. Last but not least, we got the oldest ninja in the world, Old Ninja.
In the heat of the moment, it is permissible to go ass to mouth. Not only is it permissible, it's recommended.
Oh, dangness. Chronos, take us away. Stats.
All right, listener of the week would be Shoot Captain PL. Thank you very much for listening. And in the chat, nobody is there yet that I can see. Let me refresh the screen as I am speaking, but I don't think there's anybody in the chat yet. Did y'all tweet out? Did y'all tweeted?
Facebook it did. I don't know about
Nobody tweeted it?
Twitter.
Okay.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that as we're going. Before I turn it over to Old Ninja for the pouring out of malt beverages, quick shout out, Chronos. We're on a new platform, aren't we?
We are officially on iHeartRadio. So y'all know we try to get on every single platform as possible. A few weeks ago, we went on to, what was it, Amazon, and hopefully we'll be on Audible as well pretty soon. And last week, we started streaming on iHeartRadio. So anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find this podcast.
Does that mean if you got one of them Alexas, you can just be like, "Hey, bitch, play Black and the Black Times Infinity"?
I think you could have done that before
I
through
think
Amazon.
we've done that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm pretty sure if you ask her what's the dankest podcast on the internet, she'll say us.
All right, Old Ninja, what you pouring out, and who's it
our
for?
podcast is part of, because Alexa had like some feature for podcasts, and if you search for our name, we usually will come up.
Oh, somebody has Alexa that's playing right now. We just,
Yeah, she heard me.
Yeah. How
She's
can
all
I
touched
serve?
about.
All right, Old Ninja, take us to some RIPs. What we doing?
Oh, so I'm gonna pour out some Mickeys this week for David James Redford, also AKA James Redford, known by his friends as Jamie, by people close to him. He was an activist and a director, and he is one of the sons of Robert Redford.
Oh shit.
He's directed 6 documentaries, such as Happening, A Clean Energy Revolution, and produced 11 documentaries and TV shows such as Man vs. Ford and The Kindness of Strangers. His wife has stated that he has passed away due to a bile duct cancer of the liver.
God damn.
He was 58 years old.
Ouch.
Apparently, he was born with a weird autoimmune disease of the liver, and he was diagnosed in 1993, and it's been with him for a while, and he passed away this past week.
All right, people.
Next up, excuse me. Next up, we have Tony Lewis, co-founder of 80s British rock band Outfield. Tony Lewis passed away. He was a co-founder of Outfield with Alan Jackman and John Spinks, who was passed away a few years ago. They wrote hit songs such as All the Love, Say It Isn't So, and Your Love. The single Your Love being their most popular single, which is still being played this day and is still being featured in motion pictures. Usually, I think Adam Sandler uses it in all of his 80s like throwback movies or flashbacks. Their debut album, Play Deep, came out in 1985. Lewis is working on a new album, hoping to come out in 2021. Earlier this year, meaning earlier 2020, he released an acoustic album. He was 62.
Good shit. Is that it?
Well, there was another one, but I don't have the information on this one. This one is a personal one to the cast. I don't know if this person cares to share, but that's on them.
Yeah, 2020 has definitely been a bitch for my family. I actually just learned that my grandmother on my dad's side passed away. She passed away at the age of 98. Yeah, she was up there in age, and she actually outlived two of her sons. If you didn't know that, my father passed away back in June, I believe. I can't even think of the date, but he passed away in June. But then my uncle Larry, passed away like a good 7 years ago. So she outlived two of her sons. She still have two daughters that are still with us, living and kicking. She was a great person. Every time I went over there to, like, even when I met her for the first time, she welcomed me with open arms. She was the sweetest old lady. Like, she would say, "I love you." She would give me hugs. She knew my name every time I came in and stuff like that. She was very coherent. And unfortunately, I had the chance to be able to taste one of her sweet potato pies because everybody raved about her sweet potato pies. But unfortunately, by the time when I met her, she was at the age where she wasn't really cooking anymore. But everything I heard about her, she can throw it out in the kitchen. She can make some collard greens. She can make some sweet potato yams. Thanksgiving was off the hook at her house. Like, everybody would come over and have some of Grandma Blue's food. And she was an amazing lady. Like, from what I've learned from her, she was an amazing lady. And just thinking about how old she was and, like, all the stuff I'm learning about, like, Black history and everything that happened here in America, like, it would have been cool to be able to, like, pick her brain and just see, like, what she's gone through and, like, what histories and stories she could tell me. But unfortunately, like, I didn't have a chance to do that. So R.I.P. to Grandma Blue.
Rest in power. Should we kick it off with the dank news from just a little while ago with Borat?
Yeah.
Break this down. That was your intro, Kronos. Break it down.
Yeah, so apparently in Borat 2, there is a scene with former governor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, doing... Mayor. As I say, governor...
He's the mayor.
My bad, yeah. Mayor of New York. Rudy Giuliani, because he was on... Borat basically trolled him, and he made it seem like Borat had a daughter, and the daughter was interviewing Mayor Giuliani, and apparently Mayor Giuliani laid down on the bed and started putting his hand down his pants and saying some stuff, and the weird thing is that in July, I remember seeing something from his camp saying that, oh, Borat tried to troll him, but Giuliani, totally ducked him. But then the story comes out with photos, by the way, of him putting his hands down his pants and this woman in front of him in a hotel room. And it's just like, whoa, like, for real? Like, they tried to get ahead of it, but it was already, it's like way too late. Even still, like, to this day, he's trying to, like, today he posted that he was trying to tuck in his shirt into his pants. I'm like, who lays down on a bed to tuck their shirt into their pants with somebody else in the room? Like, seriously? Like, that don't make any sense. Get out of here.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we'll see when the movie comes out, but it's not looking too good for Giuliani, who's also the quote unquote lawyer for the current president.
Yep. The other, I mean, I haven't seen the whole scene, but I've seen some screenshots of it. Girl's looking real fucking young. And I don't know the whole context of it. I believe this is an actress who's playing a role of someone being super young, like
15.
Teenage.
Yeah.
But holy fucking shit, Giuliani is a creepy ass 70-plus-year-old man. He's no fucking spring chicken.
Apparently, she had told him. So the way that it broke down is that they were in the hotel room together. And, like, she made him a drink and stuff like that, and he was sitting on the bed, and I guess he was taking off his mic or something, and I guess they had hidden cameras all in the room and stuff like that, and Borat was on the other side of the door, and she had told the mayor that she was only 15, even though she was an actress and she was actually 24. But I guess right when he started to put his hands on his plans and do whatever he was about to do, Borat busts into the room and was like, hey, she's only 15. She told you were 15. How about you just go ahead and fuck me? I've seen so far. But it's some fucked up shit if you really was thinking to go off and have sex with this 15-year-old.
I mean,
Yeah, even
if the cameras are hidden and you thinking that this was like on the up and up and legit and not some Borat movie, seems like he was about to do this. Like,
yeah,
that's not outside the realm of like speculation or anything. That seems like a legit Epstein like situation we got
Yeah.
going here with this dude.
and him saying that he was, possibly taking his microphone off. I'm like, I mean, not with like a 15-year-old in the room or any woman in the room. Like, you take it off in the bathroom if it's like that into your clothes. It's like you don't just start undressing yourself in front of somebody. Like nobody does that shit, especially if somebody you don't know.
Yeah, that's some.
Even to go up to the
That's some
room
Chris
with
Hansen,
her.
like kind of.
Sorry,
That's
even
all
to go
bad.
up to the hotel room with just you and fucking her.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
with an invitation, I'd be like, where's your parents?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Stitch.
Yeah, that's how they caught a lot of people on that How to Catch a Predator. That's what I'm saying. That's how they caught people on that How to Catch a Predator show. Like Chris Hansen would have him talking online and in the chat room and everything.
It's How to Catch a Giuliani.
And the guy would come over with some beer and some condom. Yeah. And all hell would break loose. It's really crazy because it's like Giuliani's had like a weird career in itself. He was notoriously the mayor of New York City during 9/11. So, I mean, that's kind of when obviously New York being the city that it is, being the mayor of New York is a really popular, like, well-known position. But being the mayor when that historical event happened, Giuliani was damn near a hero to a lot of people for that time period and then the years afterwards, just because of how he handled the entire situation and everything. But after that, he just completely went off the deep end with some of the things that he would just say and do. He got in a lot of scandals involving like extramarital affairs and stuff. He actually did run for president at one point, I believe back, it might have been during Obama's first term. I think he actually was at one of the debates and stuff, but he just sort of just kind of went off the deep end further and further and further. And even before all this, there was stuff he was putting out about like conspiracies and all kinds of rhetoric, and he became your crazy uncle, except he should be smarter than that because he's a fucking lawyer and stuff, but he's just brainwashed now, and now he's doing crazy shit with potential underage actors.
Wow, and he also married his cousin, apparently. His second
What
cousin.
the fuck?
I mean,
Whoa, on some Arkansas shit?
Well, apparently he didn't know.
That's
He said
crazy.
he didn't know, and they got it annulled after that. But it's just like, holy Jesus.
So apparently, wait, if I'm correct, it's illegal to marry your first cousin, but it's okay to marry your second cousin.
It
In
depends
a lot of
on where we're talking
Depends on the
about.
state. Okay.
Yeah, that varies from state to state. That's why I mentioned Arkansas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
damn.
So,
Oh, man.
God damn. Yeah, this ain't a fucking good look. But I tell you what, it makes me want to see this Borat movie even more now.
I didn't even like the first one, to be honest.
Really?
What? The first one was hilarious. Oh my god.
I just took it as being annoying, but I mean, it had its moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other thing that was a trip, I heard about him. What was it? I think it was this past week, where his daughter was coming out talking about, hey, the daughter of Giuliani talking about, my dad is crazy. I don't support him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking nut job. I mean, the daughter was talking crazy reckless, and this is an adult woman. About her dad in public, doing interviews and shit in the media. Old boy's had a hard fucking week or two.
Well, I mean, ever since, he's had a hard for a while, but, when he was sitting there double speaking about stuff the president did or didn't do and just, like, totally contradicting other things and then flying to the Ukraine. And even now, even, like, with all these, when the photos came out, he's talking about, Hunter Biden. It's like, nobody gives a shit about Hunter Biden. Like, I don't know why the Republicans keep trying to, like, nail Hunter Biden on some shit. Like nobody gives a fuck. Like maybe some Republicans do, but the vast majority of people, you know what they do give a fuck about? Not being able to feed their fucking family and dying from a deadly virus that the entire government seems to have fucked up. That's what we care about. I don't care how much money Hunter Biden might have taken from the Ukraine or anything like that. If you want to do a full investigation and then prosecute the guy, feel free to do that. You haven't done it yet, we'll wait for it. But until that point, we have bigger concerns, you know. But this is just a distraction for America, depending on one single guy he's not running for office. He might have fucked up, but if he did, like I said, put him on trial.
Yep. Well, and if just to piggyback on that, because I agree with where you're coming from, Cronus, but like if you're quote unquote the president's lawyer, you should be about defending your client. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with Hunter Biden? You know, defend your guy. It's not about political attacks on their opponent. It's getting your guy out of, lawsuits or criminal investigations or civil investigations. That's what your job as a lawyer for somebody is.
This is what this current, political cycle has done. Is that for some reason on both sides, but it seems especially on the Republican side, at least this time around, is that the Republicans will do something fucked up, like especially the president, something really egregious, and they'll say, well, some Democrat did something like this too. And it's like, okay, my mom told me two wrongs don't make a right when I was like fucking 4 years old. And it still applies to this day. If somebody did something fucked up on the Democrat side, it does not excuse what somebody did on the Republican side. They're both wrong and both deserve to be either prosecuted or have something done to them, but it does not excuse that behavior at all. The fact that somebody thinks that can happen doesn't make any goddamn sense to me at all.
Yeah. I'm with it, and you have to prove things too.
Yeah,
You can't just throw out wild, allegations as we've talked about on this cast for years and years and years. That's speculation and wild allegations with no proof whatsoever. A lot of that is just smoke and mirrors and some bullshit distraction, like you mentioned. So
was Hunter the one that was, I guess, honorary discharge from the army? I remember the whole the Biden and Trump debate. He had brought up some shit about Biden's son. I know one passed away, but the other one had a drug problem or some shit. I don't know. It was hard to get all the information straight.
Yeah, I don't think that I know he died from cancer or something like that, and one of them had a history of drug abuse, which the president decided to make fun of him for. I'm like, I mean, just because somebody abuses drugs doesn't necessarily make them a totally bad person. It's a health issue that they need to deal with. I mean, this is the problem that most Americans have, is that we associate somebody doing drugs as criminals because our current criminal system is fucked up. But it's really a health and a mental health issue that needs to be addressed. And the fact that he wants to calm people on that when millions of Americans are going through the same thing, we can get into the whole Purdue Oxycontin thing that just got released today. It kind of goes in those same lines, is that we're not treating these things as health issues, we're treating them as criminal issues, and it's wrong.
And it always depends on the fucking drug. There's a different set of different set of rules for heroin versus weed versus Oxycontin or oxycodone or whatever.
No, I mean, if you're doing other shit while you're, abusing drugs or whatever, like you're beating the shit out of your wife or your kids or getting in a car accident, fucking up other people's life, then obviously. But those crimes cover that kind of stuff. That's why I always had a problem with when people want to talk about, we need to make sure these drugs are illegal so they don't do fucked up shit. It's like, but all that fucked up shit is already illegal. So what's the point of doing it? Like, if somebody wants to get high, I don't really give a shit. Just don't don't beat up people, don't kill people, don't rob people. Those are all already laws that we have on the books. So.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm with it. Giuliani, weirdo. At best, weirdo. Possibly into underage girls. I think that's not outside the realm of speculation. I'm saying possibly, but that's not a fucking good look. You think someone's 15 and you're in your fucking 70s and you start opening up your pants or pulling on your pants, whatever the fuck. Yeah. You on some weird, sick shit.
To go back to what Blue just said a second ago, Beau Biden did get discharged from the Navy Reserve after failing a cocaine test.
Okay.
So it was a cocaine.
Well,
so
yeah. I mean, hey,
You got kicked out for
things
coke.
happen.
Yeah,
Not defending it,
Nope.
Can we get into PlayStation for a second? God damn it! Because holy fucking shit. What was it? Was it 2 days ago or was it 1 day ago? Time moves funny.
You're talking about the PlayStation? Oh, it was like a couple. I think it was on Monday. Pretty sure it was on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 days ago, PlayStation, and I want to emphasize this, released a free Black Lives Matter BLM theme that you could choose to download, or you could choose to say, fuck off. I don't want to download that. Like the hundreds of other themes that they've had on PS3 and Vita and PlayStation 4, and they'll have on PlayStation 5 in a month. But for whatever reason, racist reason, the internet wanted to cry and complain that this was the worst thing in the world. What did y'all think?
Man.
People snitching on themselves. That's what it comes down to. They're telling on themselves about how they really feel, and it's just a sign of the times and everything. I mean, people have been feeling way too comfortable in their racist skin, and felt the need that they don't need to stay in the shadows anymore for the past couple of years. And this was just one of the latest examples of people being, as they like to always claim, so-called liberals do, being triggered about something that they could have selectively just not gave a fuck about. Like, it wasn't like you turned on your PlayStation and were forced this whole screen that was forced upon you saying you have to have this now as a required software update in order for you to play your video game. Like, none of that happened. It was just like, oh, hey, if y'all want this, this is here, or whatever. And people just lost their shit. I mean, I don't know if there's like an equality background with like a rainbow flag for maybe Pride Week or something like that.
There is.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure there might have been, but cool, good, awesome. Like, I'm not personally gay, but I don't care if they promoted that. Awesome, good. I want people to, if someone wanted to download that and have that as their theme for their PlayStation, awesome. That's cool. That's good for PlayStation for representation and giving people that option. And if I didn't want to download it on my PlayStation, I don't have to, or whatever. I mean, but of course, people are just assume that when another group has equality or is being represented, it means that they are now being taken down for some reason. It seems people don't understand that, like, equality means getting other people that are not on the same level as you up to where you're at in life. It doesn't mean bringing you down or anything, and people just can't seem to wrap that around their head and just get all pissed off.
What's so crazy is that when PlayStation posted the image on Facebook that they had all the hashtag Black Lives Matter theme, right now the comments are sitting at 45,000 fucking thousand comments, and like if you go through it, there's racist shit in there. Like I was reading through some of them. One person was like, "Oh, like I want an All Life Matter theme or whatever," and I was just reading the paper trail on that one, and holy shit, like people are saying like All Life Matters is just racist, and people are like, why? How is that racist? And it's like because of this. Like every time Black Lives Matter stuff happens, it's always All Life Matters that's coming up with some kind of random shit. But when shit really goes down, All Life Matters never there. Some people are saying like, one person said something along the lines of, I was behind Black Lives Matters until they set a car on fire or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
God.
Like, how did that change your mind? It's because somebody started a fire. Like, you're on the wrong side of history, brother.
What you got,
to,
Ninja?
to piggyback on what Blue was talking about, I saw people were posting some person. I have no idea who this person is, but they're saying the two big things that I take away from most of the comments is there's this person that's apparently the head of Black Lives Matter, and this person has like a felony rap sheet or something, and it's a black woman, and they're saying that this is the person that's leading Black Lives Matter, and this is the people that you guys follow. This is what. This is the person that tells you to go out and loot and stuff. I'm like, wait, what?
There are no leaders in Black Lives Matter.
I've never seen this person.
Oh my god!
And I was like, I
It
don't know who
pisses me
this
off
person.
so much.
I don't know. I haven't seen this person do a call to arms like the guy from the Proud Boys does. I didn't see any of that shit. And then the other one, the other major comment that I see, it's usually echoed throughout the comments, is that the Black Lives Matter movement is a terrorist, or no, they don't call it a movement. They say Black Lives
It's a
Matter is
Marxist, blah,
a
blah, blah.
terrorist. They say a terrorist group. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group because they loot and destroy and all this stuff. I'm like, apparently you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's not as black and white as that. There's a lot more involved in there. If you actually did your research or actually read something, you would know that it's not all about that. It's not about destruction and terror, even though sometimes that does happen, but that happens at a lot of different rallies.
It happens
I could say that-
at fucking sporting events. So get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I'd say the Los Angeles Lakers are a terrorist organization because when they win championships, fucking people go on the streets of LA and sometimes fucking tip over cars and shit. Like it's just dumb, disingenuous logic like that just really aggravates me. And we've said it before plenty of times where it's like Black Lives Matter is more of a statement and a philosophy rather than an actual like political hard set movement that I've said for fucking years now. I feel like I don't know. There's no fucking leader for Black Lives Matter. Who is it or whatever? They're like, oh, the leader says, can you give me their name? Can you tell me who this person is? Why aren't we out there arresting this so-called person if there's this leader that you claim causing all this havoc and chaos? Because they know it's fucking bullshit. I mean, not to go back to the political aspect of it, but fucking the FBI director would be all over that shit. Just like how he said, this whole Antifa thing that you guys keep screaming about. Yeah, there's not really it's not really a thing or whatever. It's more there's no head leader of Antifa. It's just kind of like a sort of random generated thing. It's just completely disingenuous. And then for the All Lives Matter crew, when they say that dumb shit, they just say it as a counter argument. They're not actually out there doing shit when
damn thing.
No, when I don't even know the kid's name. Was it Cannon or some shit? When people were getting all pissed off about that and just like, oh, justice for Cannon, blah 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 blah, and they haven't said anything after 3 days later. They were just like, oh yeah, what? I'm just going to change my profile picture back and forget about this whole called counter argument that I self-created in my head to try to tear down the Black Lives Matter.
The most I've ever seen the hashtag All Lives Matters do was post pop videos when fucking the K-pop group took over that fucking hashtag. That shit was fucking beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just rewind.
K-pop's done that a couple times.
Let Kronos get in here.
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, because when people talk about the quote-unquote leaders of Black Lives Matter, what they're talking about is the founders, but they're not leaders. Like, actually, if you actually go and like read on their website and go through any of their organizational structure, they purposely don't have a leader. They're decentralized, which is a problem that I have with the group, is because they're decentralized, and that because of that, you have all these weird factions that can claim the same name but do different things. So that's one of the major problems with the group. But they want to have it, not organized for a purpose. Because I totally get it. Because when we tend to organize and have an actual leader, they kill us. So totally get you there. Like, I mean, we can go down a whole list of names of people that just got fucking disappeared, or shot, or suicided, or whatever. That happened to be black and trying to bring people together. But anyway, the actual founders is Alicia Garza, Opal Tometi, and Patrice Cullors. And I read the book of Patrice Cullors. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Of When They Call You a Terrorist. Mm-hmm. And it's a really good book. Like, I think that if people really took the time to sit down and like really understand who these people are, then they will understand more about the movement. Because when people say things that, oh, well, it's a Marxist organization. Well, no. However, the people that founded it, especially Patrice, she is a Marxist. Yeah, that's totally true. And she talks, but the problem is that people say that and they'll just totally, that's the be all end all of the conversation. They're not interested in hearing about why she's a Marxist. Yep. But there's a clear reason why she's a Marxist, and to me, it's totally understandable. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with Marxism, but from her point of view, seeing how America has fucked her family up in particular, I totally understand where she's coming from. But the fact that nobody wants to, on the All Lives Matter side, that just want to say, oh, she's a Marxist, and then they're not interested in seeing exactly why, you're part of the problem. Like you're part of the whole system that fucked her life over, and you're not willing to educate yourself on what our society did to her family in particular. I'll just give you a quick snippet. Her brother was mentally disabled, and he was in and out of prison for a long time. They were not giving him his meds. They let him go crazy, basically, and he was in jail. They brought him to one of his trials, tied to a fucking table, while he's spitting and going through this entire fucking crazy episode, you know, and that's how they deemed him fit for trial, was having him, you know, on a gurney, strapped down, and having a psychotic break. They didn't help him at all. When he was in and out of prison, they didn't help him at all, and they definitely didn't help her family out at all. She grew up poor, you know. So you tell me why somebody would grow up like that, see a system that we grew up in, and think that this system works. It didn't work for her or her family. So educate yourself on that shit before you start talking shit about the founders, not the leaders of Black Lives Matter.
So really quick before you go in, the link, or I guess the public records was for this Alicia Garza person. I guess apparently she has like a semi-rap sheet, but people refer to her as a leader. But apparently the overall Black Lives Matter movement is decentralized, like Cronus said, and has no formal hierarchy.
Yeah, real quick. First of all, I gotta give you props, Kronos. I really appreciate the fact that, hey, you took the time to read the book. You know, that's half the battle right there. You know, these are from the founders' own words. If you care to learn about them, just read it. It's a short book, When They Call You a Terrorist. And you don't have to agree with absolutely everything. I don't agree with absolutely everything. I will say some of the things I don't agree with, they have a very overt third wave feminist philosophy.
Oh, yeah,
that I don't always agree with everything about that. Certain things, sure. Other things, no. I'm not going to go into all of that. But what I want to be really fucking clear on, there is nowhere in their platform or from the co-founders itself of the group where they are saying, try to commit these acts of violence, like bombing somebody or shooting up a station or whatever it is, because blah 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 system blah 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 isn't fair and racist. There and I want to be clear about that. When we talked last week about terrorists like the vanilla ISIS in Michigan, they had plans to kidnap a governor.
Yep.
And they were rightly so apprehended by the FBI and called terrorists or suspected terrorists, and they'll have a trial and all of that because of those actions.
Yeah.
You don't have any evidence of the founders and co-founders of Black Lives Matter trying to kidnap Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and do anything close to that. And that's, I just need to be clear that it's not a, oh, this side this and that side this. And if they do that, then I'll be right there with you, some of you, and be like, hey, fuck this group. If you're advocating and promoting the planning of like taking out a governor or kidnapping a governor or taking out a police chief, if you're advocating that, I'm never going to be with you whatsoever. And I know everybody on this cast is going to be on board with that.
Yeah.
But I have not seen written or heard statements from any of the co-founders or anybody like that saying that that's what they believe in and that's what they want to see happen.
Yeah, and to be like extremely clear, like you guys know me, like back when Black Lives Matter first started, I was like, okay, like the organization I'm not really down with, because like things that they were doing, especially when I think it was the Bernie Sanders thing where they took the mic from him, I was like, that's fucking super disrespectful. So like that alone, I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like seriously, like I understand like the statement that you're saying. I agree, yeah, Black Lives do matter, but some of the stuff the organization did, I didn't agree with. So I was like, you know what? Why not just, and I heard about all the socialists and Marxist shit, and I was like, well, why not just educate myself in this fucking group? And so that's why I read the book. And I think that's what any rational person should do, instead of just sit there and be like, oh, well, fuck that, and then have not even the smallest modicum of actual facts that go on with the organization, but to just look at the headline, with this headline era journalism, look at the headline, you think you know everything about this group, but you don't. It's like with the whole, like, with the Proud Boys thing. Like, when people said, Proud Boys wasn't a big deal, blah, blah, blah. I knew about the Proud Boys from, like, a long time ago from Gavin McInnes, and I knew that they advocated violence. I didn't think that they were a white supremacist group, but from his own words, the man said that one of the initiation things that you have to go out and commit acts of violence. So, and people still want to give excuses about this group saying that, oh, well, they're not white national. I'm okay. You can say the white nationalist thing. I can totally understand you because they say, oh, there's people in there that are of different ethnic groups. I got you. Okay, I'm not even going to try to argue that point with you because to me it's irrelevant. But what they do is that they commit acts of violence, and that's part of that group. And if you're okay with that, then we ain't cool. You know?
Yeah. The Vanilla ISIS group, they released, I guess, some of the training videos or something. I don't know if you guys saw that, where they're hopping out of a PT Cruiser, like it's a goddamn
Not
SWAT
the PT
vehicle.
Cruiser.
It's
Like
a
it's
PT Cruiser.
A PT
Yes.
Cruiser, holy shit.
Yeah.
Was
And
like
they
a rap
released
video when they
some
jumped
more
out?
like a what?
Them jumping out of PT Cruiser was like a scene out of a rap video or some shit.
It's crazy. It's embarrassing. Like it's high level comedy. But they released some more of the details, and essentially they also some text messages talking about how they were gonna kidnap her, possibly just cap her at her door, and then bring her out into this lake and put her on trial or whatever for treason and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, this is a potential assassination attempt if you're talking about like it's just one step away from making this whole sham trial for treason where your judge, jury, and your kidnapper, judge, jury, and executioner for treason, which according to a lot of these crazy people, and it's punishable by death and shit, and it's just being glossed over. And I mean, we have Captain Orange at more rallies chanting "lock her up" and stuff from a potential victim of a seriously violent crime that was stopped by the FBI, and we're just it's all fun and games, and he's just kidding around with his political base again, saying "lock her up" and I suppose something bad was going to happen. It's ridiculous. I really hope in the next 2 weeks, or is it 2-3 weeks, that this all comes to a fucking end soon.
Here we are. But real quickly, taking it right back to just PlayStation. Sony can do whatever the fuck they want. If you're gonna cancel your PS5 pre-order, that just means more PS5 for pre-orders for the rest of us. And trust you me, I would not be surprised if Microsoft and Nintendo, PC, everybody does something very similar. I mean, you're not going to be able to escape, without having a theme that you may or may not agree with that is completely voluntary on your gaming device. This doesn't hurt anybody.
What's amazing to me is that I'm pretty sure most, Asians are like, what the fuck is wrong with America, like, still shitting on black people? Because, like, to them, like, we're a huge part of their, like, pop culture. Like, if you go to, like, Korea and parts of Japan, it's like they take a lot of our pop culture, and they still, like, if you look at listen to any K-pop right now, it's basically you're listening to 90s R&B. Like, seriously. And they don't make, they're not trying to skirt around it. They'll tell you, and I think it's amazing. And like America is looking so we look so goddamn stupid today in 2020. Like, we're fucking up the whole coronavirus thing. We're still shitting on fucking minorities. It's like, why can't we get our stuff together in this day and age? It's totally amazing how we went from in a matter of months, we went from being the top of the world to the laughingstock in a matter of months, and we still have the head dude saying that everything is okay. I mean,
And it ain't.
it's not. I mean, the guy's sitting there overtly lying to us. There is a documentary out called y'all gotta watch this documentary. It's called Totally. God, I forget the name of it, but it's basically
Denial.
no. It's called like Totally Under Control. Totally Under Control gives you an exact timeline and comparison of the COVID-19 response from America and a few other countries, namely South Korea, because it's a fair comparison because we had our first cases on the exact same day, and it is it's embarrassing and astounding how much America has just fucked this whole thing up from our senior leadership, because our senior leadership didn't do anything right. We had a playbook. The hilarious thing is that South Korea used our own playbook to get shit done. And we just threw it out the window. There's still no national strategy, and that's where we are today. I've said it for fucking months. This would have been easy to get under control. I'll tell you the same stuff I said last time. All you have to do is fucking test everybody. When you find out who's got the fucking Rona, then you contact trace them. Whoever the fuck is contact traced, you test them again, and everybody that's positive, you isolate them. It's real fucking easy. It's real easy. But instead, you have no national strategy because we didn't have any testing from the jump. We had testing from the CDC early on, but they fucked the test up, and that's why we had that month-long thing. I won't even tell you why they fucked up. There was 3 tests that they had. We only needed 2. 2 tests were supposed to be for COVID-19. Okay, and they sent out, it was an N1, an N2, and an N3. The N3 test was a test for coronavirus in general. So the first 2, though, N1 and N2, it was just for COVID-19. Okay, so the CDC early on sent out all these test kits to all these manufacturers. Like, okay, test these tests, and this is how you're going to find, these are the biomarkers. We got the biomarkers from China. And these are the biomarkers you're going to look for on these 3 tests. The next day, people were like, 90% of the people that got those tests, they were like, hey, something's wrong with N3. Like, it's all messed up. It's not working. Please help us. Turns out it was tainted. And they were like, okay, can we just ignore the N3 one? And CDC came back with no, because this is an emergency authorization. You have to do it all by the book. So we waited an extra, almost a goddamn month for them to say, oh, it's okay, just toss out the N3 one. And that's when you saw the ramping up when it was in mid-March. Yeah. And it was just like, and that's when it was should have already hit the fan. You know, because when the first guy got infected in Washington, they were like, oh, well, he didn't really see anybody. They came up negative. But they only they only contact traced him from the time when he said he had symptoms. But he came from Wuhan, and he had business meetings, he had business lunches, he was traveling all over the place, he took a rideshare home, you know. So there was a lady that's like a mathematician. She said just from the initial start of his contact tracing, it wasn't like 56 people. It was basically 2,000 people. Yeah. That should have been tested that never got tested.
It's like that scene from a part when the neighbor had the nosebleed, and like he goes to the airport, and that one drop of blood, and they just show like the contract tracing of that one symptom. So that's basically the breakdown of the coronavirus.
Yeah,
the administration said that testing wasn't a good thing. If we remember, this was a few months ago when he said, "Oh, testing he almost made it seem like testing causes more coronavirus cases."
Yeah.
So it's like, fundamentally, they're just stupid. Even like, we need testing, and then to just completely spin it around like testing is bad or whatever. The only reason why we have these cases is because we have testing or whatever. It's like just idiot logic.
Yeah.
And I can't expect them to like put in a place to have contact tracing and figure out where it's going and map this whole thing out when they can't even get off the fucking ground and determine that testing is good. It's just mind blowing.
I'm with everything. All of you are saying. For me, I'm gonna go back to just human fucking lack of empathy.
Yeah.
When we saw fucking Italy on fucking fire and Spain on fucking fire with cases and the morgues and filling up and the hospitals being overrun and all of that fucking nightmare scenario shit in, I think, March, late February, whatever the fuck it was. And then immediately, maybe 3-4 weeks later, we saw New York and the tri-state area going through it. And that was no alarm for a whole lot of the country. They were just, it's just New Yorkers, basically.
Yep.
Didn't give a fucking shit. Now, some places, like we've given props to London Breed in San Francisco and a few other places, Seattle got it under control and whatnot. But a whole lot of places are just like, that's because New York has too many people and fuck New York and whatnot, or fuck Spain. No empathy whatsoever, and no, humility and being able to understand, hey, let's learn from Italy. Let's learn from even China. Let's learn from New York. and then let's follow some type of precautions. We just wanted to rage out and be like, yeah, fuck this. Wave a flag and say masks and testing are bad.
Well, what was even
We're
more
dumb.
what was even more infuriating is when they started breaking down like the whole PPE thing. So the PPE thing is like something that part of it was on the President Obama administration, but part of it was also that they declined actually getting more PPE. I think those Republicans declined it because there was like supposed to be a bill for it to get more PPE, and they're just like, no, we don't have the budget. So, and
But in 3 years,
Oh,
they
yeah.
weren't supposed to
Yeah.
resupply it?
yeah, that's what I was gonna get to. Like,
Okay.
they were giving warnings. There was only one U.S. manufacturer that could possibly make the N95 masks, and the guy was sending out the warning sign, the emails to everybody that he could in early January. Like, listen, I have like 5 machines that still work. I can make these N95 masks for you. This is good. This is looking really bad. Can you start placing orders now so we can get this done? And they were like, nah, we're not going to place these orders. He's like, but you need to place them now, because it's going to get really bad. The government just said no. And then remember like early on when they said, oh, you don't have to wear a mask. Do you know why that was?
Because I don't remember they wanted to keep the mask
Probably because
mainly for medical people.
Yeah, because
Probably because we didn't have any, and it would cause mass hysteria if we all tried to rush
Yeah.
and get.
yes, is because
Still fucking happened.
the first responders wouldn't have the masks. And that's why I said people stop trying to buy masks. It's because they couldn't get them, and the U.S. wasn't manufacturing them. So that's when you saw people, like governors in different states, where they had to secretly fly over fucking masks from China. Remember that they had the New England, I think, they had to use the Patriots fucking
Yeah.
airplane to secretly go buy the shit on pallets and bring it back
Yeah.
because the U.S. government wasn't helping them because they kept trying to say, remember the Emergency Use Act? And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
we don't want to force manufacturers to make things that they don't want to make. No, we're talking about fucking human lives here. Force them to make it. Like, what's more important than human lives? Seriously.
Well, here's the other thing too.
Oh,
You're the
wait,
government.
the answer to
you're the
that is
government. Hold-
property.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're the government. You can also pay those manufacturers. You can give them tax credits. You can do all kinds of things
Yeah.
to reimburse them financially and incentivize them to manufacture it. It's not even just a handout, which should happen. But you could do all kinds of things to make it happen. You didn't want to.
We did get a whole bunch of ventilators though, because Trump still can't stop fucking clowning about that shit.
Which is stupid because, listen, if you're on a ventilator, you're probably going to fucking die. And if you come off of it, you're
Yeah.
probably going to have some debilitating issues for the rest of your goddamn life. So when President Trump sits up there and says, oh, we have plenty of ventilators, nobody that needed a ventilator didn't get one, but plenty of people died on them. Do you not understand the difference there? People are dying on those things. That's like the last thing before death for most people. And those people are dying alone away from their families. And the fact that he doesn't even want to talk about that. And I'll say it again on this podcast. He says that, one death is too many. Then how many is fucking almost 250,000?
Yeah.
Like, that alone, he should step down. If one is too many, but you have almost 250,000 people, why aren't you stepping down, Mr. President?
That's
I
the size of Fremont. We all know this because we're all Bay Area folks. That's the size, roughly, of Fremont in less than a year.
That's literally the size of a European country, like a small European country.
So like
That's
Lithuania.
literally
Kazakhstan.
not where the chicks are fucking horses, Prodigy.
Oh,
It's one of those other
Yeah.
an actual state, an
Well,
actual
it's kind of
country.
crazy that documentary you're talking about, Kronos, totally under control. Right now, it's sitting at 100% on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah,
nice.
it's
I'm
really
gonna check
good. It's messed
Go
up.
ahead, Spin.
Good.
I say I saw
Looks like it's on Hulu.
he
Go ahead.
I forget who was that called him out on it, but he was like, I think I rewatched some of the town hall debate, and we have a I guess the final third debate coming tomorrow.
I don't think
which
it's
will
gonna
be
happen.
But I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. If it does, it does. It's not. It's still gonna be a shit show because one, we have a black female moderator, which is just gonna make for primetime hilarity because he's gonna try talking over her, and Twitter is gonna be on fire during that whole process. But I'm almost numb to some of this stuff because I saw I guess he retweeted this whole thing about how maybe Bin Laden wasn't killed, by the fucking military
Jesus
and
Christ.
stuff. And my brain like exploded. I'm like, you're the president, right? You could probably make a phone call, not even dial out. You can just hit like the intercom extension and be like, yo, we killed Bin Laden, right? Okay, cool. Like instead he's floating out these fucking conspiracy theories that Bin Laden might be alive and shit. And then I saw the dude, one of the guys that was on like the SEAL team was like, yeah, I was there. He's dead.
Yeah, there's
like, I'm pretty sure about that.
There's a video of it. He can look it up because I could look it up when I had a fucking top secret clearance.
I think he had also said that like Obama had like the SEAL Team 6 people killed to cover it all up too. It's like, are you fucking serious, dude? Like, come on.
Shit, I remember when it went down, like almost every news outlet had talked about they saw the picture of Bin Laden with the gunshot to his head, I guess. And like, I know Anderson Cooper has seen it because he was talking about how he can't show it to the public, but he saw it. I think like the entire, if you watch HLN, almost the entire newscast, like Nancy Grace and all the other people that are on there, they all saw it. There's a bunch of people that saw it.
But it doesn't even matter if we saw it. Like, do you not think that Bin Laden would be like, yo, y'all motherfuckers didn't get me? Like, you think he's just like in hiding somewhere, like just like.
He come busting out like the Kool-Aid Man, saying, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
Yeah, like it's some big conspiracy to hide Bin Laden's death. But you gotta understand the mentality though. If you're a conspiracy nut job, it doesn't really matter what's going on. You're gonna say the Earth is flat. You're gonna say Barack wasn't born in Hawaii, regardless of what the birth certificate said. You're going to say that pizza means there's a whole secret pedophile ring or whatever at the top of the Democratic National Good. You're going to say anything, and there's not going to be a whole lot of rhyme or reason or logic to it, and it just sounds truish to you, no matter how crazy and quickly disproven it is or debunked it is. You're just gonna be like, yeah, that sounds cool. I want to believe.
Yeah,
right?
I mean I've seen a couple of these conspiracy theories. I mean, I've been kind of following I heard it. I thought it's pronounced QAnon, but apparently it's pronounced canon.
Yeah.
I guess. And I'm just like, QAnon. What? Like, yeah. Basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's spelled capital Q, capital A, N-O-N.
It's QAnon.
And apparently is it QAnon? Okay, yeah. So it's basically this whole, it literally sounds like a Hollywood movie where Donald Trump is basically in office and he's the only one that can fight the people that are running a pedophile ring run by Hillary Clinton, or no, the Clintons and like a bunch of other people, and like he's been giving messages through his speeches to his soldiers or whatnot, that where he's the only one through their help that can take down this whole ring of pedophiles and government, or the Russian government that's running in and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
He's doing
this sounds like the premise to the Angel Has Fallen series, that kind of shit.
He's doing it from the inside because there's plenty of videos of him and pictures of him with Epstein. So,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, he's doing it.
He's like, what's the best way to catch a pedophile? Be one yourself.
Yeah, it's just, and I'm like, what? And what's fucked up to me is that the whole Proud Boys thing just threw more fucking kerosene on the fire. That he was like, it adds to this more like crazy conspiracy theory that he's some kind of like savior of the world or something. Like he's like literally out there with the, like Captain America with the sword and shield out there battling these people. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he isn't doing none of this. And apparently a lot of these theories have been debunked, but yet still
there's no apparently about that, dude.
I mean, there's literally law enforcement people wearing merchandise and other apparel from this QAnon like theory thing, and it's kind of creepy because they're really high up.
there's a lot of people who believe wild as shit. There's no fucking doubt about it. But look, man, you can't, you shouldn't be, not you can't, I guess. You shouldn't be fucking commander in chief, leader, the highest position in the world, and be like, yeah, that's a cool theory. Retweet, or let me say some shit.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could be Joe Sixpack on your in your double wide in Arkansas, you know, talking about it. I guess, you know,
Like,
as long as you don't
I
get
like how-
crazy violent. But you're the leader of the free world, so to
I
speak.
like how Trump can post all kind of crazy like fucking Mama Cleo lady with the fucking witch doctor healing factors or some shit like that. Like, he will constantly post shit like that, but that motherfucker does not post any kind of goddamn facts, like shit that's like legit science backed type information. I mean, even now, like, him and Dr. Fauci are at wit's end because he's using words that Dr. Fauci has said that taken to completely out of fucking context. And then, like, there's that new shit with that his son Donald Trump Jr. did with Ice Cube and 50 Cent, where they photoshopped both of them wearing Trump 2020 hats, and like it's not even like, if you like, they show the original pictures and they're like just wearing like normal hats, and this guy somehow photoshopped Trump's name on them and shit like that. It's just fucking crazy.
So
The
I
whole
want to
family's
give
fucked up.
a little context to the whole Ice Cube and 50 Cent thing. So we talked about Ice Cube. I'm sorry, we talked about Ice Cube last week about his contract with Black Americans, and a lot of people were saying that Ice Cube is apparently supporting Trump, which he clearly did not say several times over. He in the past week he's had numerous, a couple of televised and a couple of live stream meetings about what he really meant about his thing, about his stance, and then 50 Cent apparently said he's going to vote for Donald Trump because of tax reasons, basically. So
I mean, I have no problem with 50 doing that, because I mean, 50 is a rich fucking man. 50 is not the American fucking person. 50 is a business person who I think it was Vitamin Water is what he was on, and then he sold that
for a
shit
minute.
for a shit ton of money. So yeah, 50's in a different tax bracket than most of us. So if he's saying like, yo, I don't want to pay fucking 40% of my income in taxes or whatever, okay, that's fine. He's at least making his decision based on what he believes is best for him. That's completely fine. I have no issue. I mean, you're free to vote for whoever you want to, and if that's why 50 wants to vote for him, that 50 can do that or whatever.
Hold on, just real quick. If he's actually if he's actually paying 40% in taxes, he's doing his taxes wrong. I'm just saying.
For real.
Yeah, I just threw out the. I mean, I have no idea what I just know 50 is rich as fuck.
Well, no, I mean that's what
so
that's what his tax rate would be. It would be like in the 40s, because I've been there. But it's like nobody pays. Like if you make that much money, you pay less taxes. Like that's the problem though. So
You're paying $750 worth of taxes.
Yeah,
Keep going.
unless you got a China bank account. But.
yeah.
At least you're paying some tax instead of $750 a year, or none at all, like President does.
Anyway, sorry, Stitch. Go ahead.
No, now he's got to pause.
I forgot what it was. Oh, the whole. Well, we only had, I guess, some information about the actual, the platinum plan, the platinum car wash plan, or whatever it was fucking called. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then he did an interview on I guess, the Roland Martin
So wait,
show.
are you talking about 50 Cent or Ice Cube? Which one are you talking about?
No, Ice Cube. Yeah, 50's fine. I have no issue with 50 or whatever. I just my whole thing when we talked about it last week was the whole contract with Black America that I sure as fuck didn't sign up for, and I didn't know what the fuck was in this so-called contract. It just seemed pretty grand Jewish to fucking say, oh, it's the contract for Black America, whatever. And I brought it to the president's office when I don't know what the fuck's in that contract. And apparently the contract was 2 pages long worth of stuff that he couldn't really explain, at least when he was on the Roland Martin show that I saw the like maybe like 10-minute video of. So it looks like essentially they just made it into a photo op where it's just like, yo, look at this. Yo, Negroes, look, we got a black person in here that's meeting with Trump or whatever. You like Ice Cube, right? Well, Ice Cube likes Trump. So vote for Trump 2020. And here's him in one of our hats that we just photoshopped with him and another popular rapper that you guys like. So it just seemed really just like a desperation effort to try to piece together Ice Cube with Trump. And if I was Ice Cube, I'd be pissed as fuck. I mean, he can't do like in his NWAs and roll up in there with a bat like how he did did Jerry in NWA, but it's fucked up for especially if it seemed like Ice Cube was taking this very seriously.
Yeah.
And good for him, but Trump should have at least met him halfway, or at least pretended to fuck it. Well, I mean, I can't even say pretend, but at least have the decency to at least hear what it is that he's saying respectfully, rather than just kind of make it a photo op and just fucking kind of make it Trump look. I mean, make Ice Cube look very clowny in a way.
Well, I mean,
I just felt kind of bad.
It's funny. So I knew about the Platinum Plan. It's like it's one of those things that they say, you know, their plans. It's just like their healthcare plan. And I'll pull up something for you. This is a tweet by Donald Trump and Kayleigh McEnany talking about the healthcare plan that they have. And you see this. There's a photo that I'm showing, and it's basically Kayleigh McEnany giving her a very large book that is the healthcare plan of Donald Trump that he's been talking about for 3 or 4 years now, about the things that he would do to fix the healthcare plan that, you know, President Obama did to replace the Affordable Health Care Act. But if upon further inspection, if you look at the actual book that she's opening, the pages appear to be fucking blank. So that's what I think the Platinum Plan is. It's a plan with a name, but no substance behind it.
Yeah. It's like when they when he was in his hospital, whatever bunker or quarantine room, hard at work, and they zoom in on the paper, and he's just signing his name on a blank piece of paper, like he's reading or doing some shit like that. It's just like, come on, like we know your cornball trick. Like let's move on with that.
Yeah. But well said. I mean, I would strongly prefer black intellectuals, doctors, lawyers, economists, healthcare engineers, etc. Black Tony Stark, basically, to put together a comprehensive plan and get the political will and go through all the trials and tribulations to make that a reality. Now, I said last week, I didn't have any belief that this would manifest into anything, and it doesn't look like it's going to manifest in anything, and that's my biggest issue. If it turns out to be something, great. But because it's not going to, then all of this seems like a complete fucking waste of time. And so, if there's no tangible results, what are we fucking doing?
Yeah, but I mean, we can say the same thing about the other side too, though. So let's keep it fair. The other side wasn't interested either. At least they were more honest about it, though. At least they said, you know, we'll wait after, you know, the election. That's
entirely right. Saying the Biden-Harris camp saying, you know what, we're running a campaign right now, Ice Cube. You know, once there is an election, you know, the election is over, then we might be able to talk. Don't call us, we'll call you. I think that's totally fair and within their rights to do so. Even if Trump had said, hey, I'm running a campaign right now, Ice Cube, maybe we'll talk later after November 3rd. That's also completely fair.
I think at the time he wasn't running a
there's nothing
campaign.
tangible that's coming from this.
I think at the time, though, he wasn't running a campaign. He was running on oxygen. So let's just be honest.
Can we talk about my girl AOC?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
This blew up.
Yes. My government crush AOC decided to get on possibly the hottest mobile game of 2020, Among Us. She, I guess, her and her team put together her Twitch profile and announced it. I think it was maybe on Friday or Saturday. My days don't get all confused up, but she wanted to promote people to go out and get out and vote and everything, and encourage registering to vote and the importance of voting and blah blah blah. So she tweeted out that she was going to get on Twitch, set up a Twitch profile, and she was looking to play Among Us, and signed up on Twitch, and that shit blew up. And I watched a little bit of the stream just sort of watch what was going on there, just because I was bored and it was just entertaining. But she got like, I think she's at in one 24-hour time period, she got 400 something followers from when she started.
430,000.
430,000 followers. I checked right when the cast started. It's at 600 something now. And then I think it's in the top 4 all-time Twitch streams for largest concurrent viewers at one time for her hopping on there and playing this mobile game. So I thought it was really cool to watch her reach out to younger people and tell them about voting. I mean, I didn't really hear what she actually said about how it was important to vote and everything. I just wanted to watch her play the game and do a couple rounds or whatever. But I think it's a really cool, it's a smart idea for politicians to use gaming as a platform to reach people. I think earlier in the week, Joe Biden had a little crossover with like Animal Crossing. It had like an Animal Crossing island.
Oh, that was months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a cool sort of way to campaign and reach out to people and stuff like that. I mean, it's sort of thinking outside the box. It's
gotta get them weebs.
Getting with the times. Yeah, exactly. Weebs vote too. I thought it was pretty cool.
Are you talking about AOC?
Yes.
Yeah.
My bae.
Yeah. Twitch is important. It's a huge fucking platform. I think maybe it was back in 2016. I think it was 2016 with Bernie getting on Twitch, not for gaming, but he did some kind of thing on Twitch, and he's fucking ancient. He's a goddamn dinosaur. You have an engaged audience that skews fucking younger, and they're fucking mad about it. Most people are in their homes any goddamn way, but you can do it on mobile or whatever. Twitch is fucking popular. It's hot, no matter if it's Among Us, Fortnite, whatever. If you feel like gaming and want to reach a bigger audience, this is a great platform to fucking do it, man. I love Twitch. You know.
Where are we going next?
So, yeah.
I
I want to actually, you know what? There was some kind of weird big news on that came out today in the world of DC. What the are they bringing back Jared Leto? Is this real?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
That's what I saw.
Isn't it Zack Snyder too as well? Like he's bringing back. Like, can we talk about a shittier combination of people to bring back into the DC universe? Known flops, known people that have not done well in the DCEU. We're just gonna bring them back. You know, can we stop? We need a whole fresh start with the DCEU. And
yes and no. I mean, yes and no. I mean, Wonder Woman, Aquaman,
yeah, those
totally
are okay.
fine.
Those also are Zack Snyder.
Joker did great and whatnot. Maybe that's not in the DCEU, whatever. But Leto was pissed at Warner Brothers. I mean, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Leto talked all kind of shit about how they cut out his scenes. They disrespected him by having Joaquin play Joker like a year or two later. He didn't want to work with it. He was talking mad shit. Kind of like how Natalie Portman was talking some shit after Thor 2 and wasn't in the MCU for a hot minute. But we're not gonna go there. But Leto was supposed to be on the outs with them completely, and he didn't want to be in. And now all of a sudden the checks are right, the money's right, and he's back in on a Justice League reshoot, I guess. Right?
The Zack Snyder cut and money talks. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast before. In fact, I think it was you, Prodigy, who brought it up. Like, even though referring to Natalie Portman, even though she was talking all that big shit, if the money is there, if them checks clear, you gonna see them come back. And guess what? She came back. Like, I believe that was almost verbatim what she was talking about. Like, if that money's there, if you talk to him right, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Apparently, Zack Snyder had talked to him, obviously, and they probably came with some numbers and like, all right, I'll do it. I mean, he was supposed to have his movie out this year. Remember, he was supposed to star in Morbius. and that
That's
didn't
true.
happen. So that got pushed back till next year.
Well, that's COVID.
So if he gets
I
the
mean-
chance, if the timing will be, if he's able to film his stuff, and the Snyder Cut comes out in around March 2020, we're looking at Morbius within 2 to 3 months right after that, which could
What-
be really huge for him.
It's on, but just to be clear, I thought Justice League Snyder Cut is supposed to be a HBO Max exclusive, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
that,
is.
that is correct. But
Yeah.
that's when it'll release on HBO Max around March or April of 2021.
But I guess they're adding scenes of him as the Joker in the Justice League Snyder Cut
gonna be a-
version.
Frankenstein's
None of
monster
that
of a
makes-
movie. Yeah.
None of that makes any fucking sense with a movie that had, what was it, Steppenwolf as the
Mhm.
main bad guy, the
Yeah.
fill-in for Darkseid that wasn't Darkseid. That movie didn't have shit all to do with Joker.
I was gonna say, wasn't there? I think there was a scene that was cut out, but I'm not. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was mainly for the
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. So there's like the scene where Batman is chasing after him. He's on top of that fucking Lamborghini kit thingy that they're in. But I think that was from the Justice or the.
Well, the other weird thing is, aren't they currently right now filming the Batman with Sparkly Vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're assuming that there's going to be some kind of other Joker in that world eventually, if it's a multi-movie fucking new franchise with Batman, which they tend to do. The fuck are they? I don't understand what they're doing with this, man. This is the weirdest shit. And bringing Snyder back.
Yeah, they don't need to bring him back. Like to me, he doesn't bring anything to the table. I mean, I didn't like the way I don't like the way that he shot all those films. I don't like the way that those films were edited. Yeah, I mean, we're getting more reshoots in movies again. This is all typical behavior that we've seen from that entire like production studio, just fucking shit up. So why are we gonna go back to that? Like,
Well, it's funny because it's been called the Snyder's cut, whatever. When you think of a cut, like I think of like Resident Evil, it's like how the game was supposed to be before they chopped it up, before they released it to the masses. But what they're doing now is that they're taking Snyder's cut and they're adding stuff. They're taking the original movie and adding stuff to it. Like there's no stuff that was actually cut off from the scene. They're adding more fucking scenes to the movie to hopefully try to make it make sense.
this
You know what I mean?
this is like if EA made a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Yeah, basically.
So, I mean, from my point of view, I actually have no big issue of Snyder coming back because his daughter did pass away during the filming of the film and he had to step away, him and his wife, and him coming back to complete his vision, I don't really have that huge of a problem with. I mean, there was a huge demand from the fans, and I'm interested to see what his vision truly was, and they're giving him the resources to do it. And
But-
this is going to be slightly unprecedented because this is literally going to be like a 4-hour series or whatnot. So
Can I
I'm
say
not-
this?
Go
Can I
ahead.
say this though? I get the fact that he had his daughter die. I'm not shitting on that. That's a tragedy. I get it. What Warner Brothers obviously logically should have fucking done, and everybody would have fucking understood, is say, okay, there's a family fucking emergency with the director, and I think director and writer, I believe, at
Well,
least the
it-
director.
his director, producer, and another producer because his wife is producer on the film.
Even more reason. Shut it down as long as you can. Delay the movie, push it back. You delayed Wonder Woman 84 for a year, maybe and some change. Delay it, complete it, edit it the right way, and then release it into theaters as you intended, but with a completed movie. That would have been more respectful.
So we're just gonna talk about how, I mean, Batman vs Superman wasn't good either. What was the excuse there? It was the same exact problems that Justice League had. Same.
Actually, Justice League was even worse.
Yeah, it was dark. The color palette was all fucked up. Editing was terrible. Scenes didn't make sense. It's the same nonsense. Like he doesn't get a pass on any of this shit.
Yeah.
He is only good at making films where basically he takes scenes page from page from other source material, like with
Yeah.
Watchmen and 300. those were decent. But like I said, there was like page for page. I mean,
And
he made Sucker Punch. That movie was trash.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that was so bad.
And remember, last year, the HBO series with Regina King, that Watchmen bodied the movie. It just did. It won all these fucking awards. It was must-see TV every Sunday night. The movie flopped. We've already talked about that plenty of times. Some people like it. I get it, but that series was just way better. So I don't know, man. It's weird. It is what it is. Are we going to get into Lovecraft?
I'm still gonna watch it when it comes out, but I'm not gonna watch it on HBO.
Well, so apparently it's already out. Clay said that he already watched it on HBO Max.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't
Really?
know it was already out.
Huh.
Wait,
Okay.
what's already out?
The
you
Snyder
sure?
Cut.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right at all.
That's what he said.
Double check that one.
Yeah, well,
If it is,
I think he watched the regular one because it says 2021, September.
yeah.
September
Yeah, I think
2021.
that's right.
Unless he got he got somebody drunk and they dropped him a special kind of code.
Or maybe he used the time machine that fucked our timeline up. He went and saw it in the future and came back.
Yep. Y'all want to get into this craft? The
Yeah.
finale?
Didn't nobody watch it?
I watched it.
But
Everybody,
I was
anybody
watching
else?
it at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, I watched it.
I was so fucking behind.
All right. Doesn't sound like we're too enthusiastic about the finale, but go ahead. Stitch, somebody, break it down. What'd you like, what you didn't?
Okay, well, I mean, I would be all discombobulated if I tried to, because I watched the last 10 minutes right before the cast. I watched, like, the majority of it, and I got tied up, so I would be piecing together really, really poorly. It would make for bad podcast, and trying to hear me struggle to piece together everything that happened.
That's all right. That's all right.
But, I mean,
I can kind of go into it since I just fucking watched it. So I mean, this episode was kind of. This episode was called "It All Comes Together." What's it called?
full circle.
Full Circle. It's called Full Circle, and it basically starts off. Last episode we left off with I can't remember his name. Tick, basically bringing his auntie back into the world, and they were able to get the Book of Names to try to save his niece, who actually could be his sister too, right? Because the mom and the dad and the uncle, and they all had like some kind of triangle thing going on. But they didn't kind of touching that out.
The Arkansas family tree.
Oh.
A bunch of twists and twirls in it. But so they go back to I want to say it's the bookshop or the garage or something like that, and Tick has like some kind of spell that can open up the book because I guess it's bound closed by a spell, which it turns out that Tick's like great grandmother had pet on the book. But right when they open up the book, both Tick and Letty just fall to the ground, and they somehow get teleported, kind of not back to the time, but they get teleported into the book. And Letty is back in
Tulsa.
she's back in like 1910 or during the bombing on the 1921 during the bombing on Black Wall Street, and she's back with the great grandmother or something like that, and she's telling her like, hey, don't worry, you're in a safe place, like, and they start to break down the history of the book, how the great grandmother was, and he goes back to the mansion. So if you go back to episode 1, I think it was episode 1 or 2 when they're running out of the building and there's like a ghostly figure. And like the buildings and stuff is on fire, and it turns out that Tick's like great grandmother or something like that, and Tick is in that time period, and Letty's in another time period, and basically they're learning the story about the great grandmother, how she was a slave on the master's plantation, and the master had sex with her, and basically the child she was carrying was his offspring, which is why Tick has that bloodline, that blood lineage of this. I can't think of the master's name or the main guy's name that this is from, but she explained how she didn't want anybody to know about her baby being part of that bloodline, and so she tried to hide him away. But she also got her hand on the book, and like she read through the book, and like when she read through the book, she somehow every time she would try to run away, she would be engulfed by flames, and she didn't understand like what she was doing. Every time she slept, this is when it happened. But yeah, eventually she learned that this flame that she was running from was actually her rage, and once she realized that this fire was her rage, she was able to control it and be able to like harness it and use it and stuff like that. But then there came to a point where she didn't want anybody else to be able to use the Book of Names, so she's the one that actually sealed it so nobody could open it. But eventually she learned that like this magic can be powerful and she can use it for different things. She told Tick that you basically are their future and like you can change the world for everybody basically. And once that all kind of came together, Letty, Tick, the grandmother and the great grandmother, basically they showed up in the room with his niece slash sister, and the sister that's kind of possessed by the crazy twin clown posse looking girls, but they're able to actually save her. They're using some kind of incantation and they're able to save her, but they weren't able to save her arm, which I'm like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. Because when the girl comes through, she looks at her arm and it's all fucking crypt keeper looking like shit. Yeah, it's all fucking rotted and stuff like that. So she kind of freaks out and screams. But they got the book and they trying to figure out what they need to do next. But what's interesting is that the interaction between the daughter and Hepatiah, like Hepatiah talks about how, like, what's her name? Like
Hippolyta.
Hippolyta. Yeah, Hippolyta was like, I was traveling to fucking different dimensions where I could be anything I want to be and stuff like that. And her daughter was like, well, how come you weren't here for me? She's like, once there was a point where I was like, I wanted to be a mother, and like that's what drew me back to you. And the daughter's like, bitch, I don't care what the fuck you're saying. Like, I was in need, and you're out buying fucking packs of cigarettes. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And it was kind of cool because like the mom was like, yeah, I've been to dimensions where like any story that you can create, I could like make come true. But then like later on, like the mom, she slips under the door one of the daughter's comic books. And the daughter's like, Mom, did you draw this? Like, what the hell? This is really good. And she's like, no, this is your work, baby. And then like the daughter comes out.
Wait, real quick. Apparently that artist was basically given a shout out, and she like was on Twitter freaking out, and she said she cried for like an hour.
So, that's awesome.
There you go.
That's pretty awesome. But yeah, so like the daughter comes out and the mom shows her something, and you don't see what it is. You just hear like some kind of like mechanical thing happening. Like at first I thought she like was trying to show her like, hey, this is some cool shit that I bought from the future, like check it out. So then it jumps back over to Letty. She's like at a graveyard. I might be jumping around, but she's at a graveyard and stuff like that. And she's kind of remembering her mom and stuff like that. And her sister shows up, and her sister's like, like family this and family that. And Letty was like, yeah, like family, like we never really learned family. Like I'm learning all this stuff from Tick and blah blah. And she tells her sister like, hey, we need some blood from the white girl,
Christina.
And she's like, just you're always that way. You only need me when you need something. Like fuck you and your family and the branch you fell off or whatever. And she fucking like walks away and she doesn't help her at all. But one part I skipped out is that Letty and Tick, like since they have the Book of Names, they go back to like this ceremonial place, and basically they fucking call upon the spirit of Tick's great grandfather, the white plantation owner, basically, and they brought him back to life. And the guy's like, "What are you Negroes doing with my fucking power?" Basically, like, how dare you? And then like Tick and Letty summons their Tick's great grandmother. I can't think of her name, but she shows up, and then Tick's grandfather like disappears and shit like that. And then the white girl's driving the car and she like swerves out of the road and crashes, and like right when the slave master is about to tell her like, hey, these Negroes are using my words, he all of a sudden pops back where Letty and Tick was. And that's when they have like the great grandmother, the grandmother, the mom, like all of them are fucking there. They're all fucking some Umbatu type fucking language type shit. They're summoning, and Tick fucking like stabs dude. I guess they actually reincarnated him, so they stab him, and then like Tick fucking like ripped off his titty meat for some fucking reason, and like all of a sudden the dude fucking like turns back to dust and disappears, and then like the rest of the family members disappear and stuff like that. But yeah, so then they posse up into the family fucking minivan. We got the daughter slash niece slash cousin in the back. We got dad in the front. We got baby mama in the front. But then we also have Korean girl. She's riding in the back seat, and they're all singing like fucking some crazy ass fucking love hymns. But one part I skipped over was my intro basically. So the Korean girl is sitting, the fox chick. She's sitting inside. She's at a hotel, and this white boy shows up, and she's trying to hit on her, like, oh hey, you're exotic looking. She starts speaking in Korean, and he's like, oh, you don't speak any English. So he sits down, and she's like, she basically says what she said in Korean. She's like, do you want to fuck me? Do you want to? Oh no, she said, do you want to die just to fuck me or something like that? And dude was like, what the fuck? Like, oh, peace out. But yeah, so fast forward, she's like hanging out in the car with them. They're riding deep. They're all singing some, they're singing some Tupac or some shit on the way to the spot.
50s music, goddamn.
But yeah, they're singing a song. They're having a good time. It's like a family road trip. But yeah, they finally get to the spot, and Tick fucking goes down to try to do some kind of witchcraft summoning thing, but like, you know, all the Caucasians are waiting for him and stuff, and then it turns out that Krista, she's waiting for him. But then we go over to Letty, and Letty and her sister, everybody else is kind of spread out, trying to put up signs and stuff like that to try to like warn off like people from approaching or whatever. But it turned out that Letty's sister had got them a bottle of blood that wasn't Krista's blood. And it actually turns out, I mean, I saw this shit coming from a mile away, but like Krista had killed her sister basically, and is basically daywalking in her body. And basically they end up having a giant fight scene, and Letty gets thrown out a fucking window on the 3rd floor, and she doesn't have her healing powers anymore. She's not invulnerable, so she basically dies. But yeah, so they got Tick strung up. Crystal's fucking, he's strung up like fucking Jesus. Christina, and then Tick is strung up like Jesus, and she fucking slices his fucking forearms, and he's just fucking dripping blood, and she bathes in his blood and starts doing some kind of chantation shit, and his soul start going to her body like some fucking blade fucking type shit. But then it turns out that Letty wasn't dead. Apparently she still had her fucking magical invulnerability powers, and she fucking like runs to try to save Tick, but once she gets there, she's a little bit too late because it's already like bleeding out to death. But the Nine-Tailed Fox chick, I don't know, Letty, she runs up and stabs Christina in the fucking back, and it's like, fuck you, bitch, that was my man, how dare you? And she started throwing her own connotation spells, and some black fucking lost dust started flying up in the air. And then the Nine-Tailed Fox chick, she's like, oh no, like it's my turn to try to save somebody, and she jumps into the smoke, and she does her little fucking tentacle shit and motherfucking whips and shit, or whip her all around the place, and fucking it actually just kind of flashes, and all of a sudden the Christina is underneath some rubble, and like it looks like everything's good to go, but Tick is still fucking dead. But they like basically haul his body off. But what's kind of crazy is the ending, because like Christina, she's still under fucking rubble, and she's like crying for help. Like she's not dead yet. She's crying for help, asking for anybody to come. And then Tick's niece, sister, cousin, 3rd time removed or something shows up, and she's walking like a badass, and she's got that fucking vampire wolf dog thing with her. And what's one thing that's interesting is that earlier in the episode, like that wolf dog vampire thing saved her. But one thing I noticed is that wolf vampire thing is actually a different color. Like it's black, and all the other ones are like skin color, which is kind of cool. But like she's walking with it like it's fucking Jacob from fucking Twilight, and she walks up to Christina, and she's like, you had your fucking chance and this and that, and she takes off her fucking jacket, and her right arm that she had was a fucking robot hand, which was fucking dope. So that's basically what we saw in the fucking beginning, that her mom gave her a fucking futuristic steampunk fucking robot hand, and she put that motherfucker to use and basically just crushes Christina's windpipe and fucking snatches it in half, and then her badass fucking vampire werewolf dog thingy fucking howls at the goddamn moon, and that's how the episode fucking ends.
There was a thing that you didn't talk about though. Actually, a bunch of things. But one of the things that was important is that in the end, when Christina loses her magical powers, what the book did is it took away all magical powers from white people.
It sure did.
And so, one of the things, this is why I realized right after I watched that, when she had a robot arm, I was like, holy shit, she's the one that pushed Tick back through the portal. And so what I'm pretty sure what happened is in the future, white people are, because he said that white people were going to war, that there was huge riots with white people, and I'm pretty sure they realized that they don't have magic anymore at that point, and that only black people had magic, and they were revolting over that. And that's why there was riots in the future. But she's the one that gave him the book and then pushed him back through. So,
Yeah, I was just noticing because when they took the trip, doesn't she have the book in the back seat?
she got it from Tick, though, the book.
Yeah, I know, but she had the book when she goes to I mean, she doesn't have the book anymore. I mean, obviously she could have lived in the car or whatnot, but I don't think she has it when she leaves with her mom or whatnot to go into the flash of light because we don't see them leave really.
No, the car was in the. That's what she was reading in the car. When she was in the back of the car, she's reading the book that Tick had.
Yeah, who Tick's son wrote, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, George Freeman. I had two kind of issues with this finale. One was I could have sworn that they cured Diana from her arm in the previous episode. Like I thought they got all the worms and maggots out of her arm, and her arm went back to normal at the end of the previous episode.
No,
but then in this one, at the start of this one, it's all corpse
No.
ride.
So you didn't pay attention to what they said. When they cured her the first time, they said that it's only a reset on time. So what happens is that it'll put it back to the time when she first got the curse, but the curse is still going to hit her again. Yep. So that's why her arm got all fucked up again and why she started reverting. So and then after they did like the cure, basically they took the demon thing that was inside of her, Topsy, whatever the fuck the name was.
Yeah,
and it pulled them into the alternate universe that the mom had made from the book.
So
but the arm was still
I
down.
thought the same thing as Odin did. I thought they cured her in the last episode, but now what you said makes fucking sense.
And then also when Letty fell, because I could have sworn Christina pulled her like protection spell from her,
but she
they showed that
clearly
too.
fell and she clearly woke up, but she still had the symbol on her body when she woke up. So
when she died, like the symbol actually came back.
No.
Form again.
You guys gotta pay attention.
I'm gonna
in the episode, they show after she fell, when she was still in Ruby's form, she actually put the invulnerability thing back on her after she fell.
Yep.
That's why she was invulnerable again.
Can't be on your phone on this show.
Yeah, I was kind of mid-podcast when I saw that scene.
It's all good. You know what was weird? Though? I have to go back a few episodes. I still, and I know what I said. Like I don't know, week 4 or 5 of the series. It still seemed a little rushed. The whole Montrose killing of the Two-Spirit chick. Like,
oh yeah.
Now that the series is over, it seemed like there was almost no fucking point to that. Almost no point to that character except for that one quick scene. That was fucking weird, but whatever. Because you learn all this great stuff about Montrose, and he certainly develops. And he's not all good, not all bad, but that was fucking weird. But I will say this too, Naruto Gia, she did try to help Tick in the fucking end, and Tick did try to make up for, quote unquote being rude to her and said, hey, what we had is real. You are a part of my family, even though you blew up my spot, with my pregnant girl last week. So
what's so crazy? What was so crazy about that scene when they're driving is that like, okay, we have old girl in the car, we have baby mom in the car, we have a dad that might not be your dad, it's actually your might be your uncle. You have your cousin that might be in the car, like all this shit that was fucking gay uncle. Like this whole fucking car ride was just one crazy ass fucking.
Yeah, so
Uncle Daddy.
Going back to what Prodigy was saying about Montrose, they didn't explain a lot of shit about Montrose. They didn't explain why the fuck he was in the basement. They don't explain why the fuck he knew all this shit. Why he knew about the Book of Names. They don't explain.
Yeah.
So those things that are still in the wind, I wrapped it in as part of why he killed her. They don't talk about any of that, but I think they'll probably talk about it next season. I would hope to try. But other than that, those sorts of things, they wrapped up as much, especially when you throw in time travel into a show.
Mm-hmm.
They wrapped everything up extremely cleanly for one single season, But they left enough out there to where, we're interested in seeing more stuff, like taking magic away from white people, only having black people having magic and shit like that. Like that's gonna be really interesting to see. And then all the shit with Montrose and there's still other people in that order that are still out there. So
Shit.
what's going on with them?
Are there talks for a second season yet? Because I mean, I saw when they announced that this was the final episode, they didn't say like series finale like how they did with Watchmen. They just said like season finale. Have they started filming, or there been announcements or anything about like definitely season 2 is coming? Or
No idea. I have no idea.
To be determined.
It is not. It's not been renewed yet, which is amazing. They need to renew it. You can't pull a Watchmen. You can't pull 2 Watchmens. Goddamn it, HBO! All right, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what?
What are the numbers doing? Does anyone know what the numbers for this show have been doing? I mean, obviously we've all been watching, but like in terms of like viewership, like how is it?
While someone pulls those up, I just want to add for context, though, you have to compare it to other HBO shows. You can't just compare it to like The Bachelor on ABC.
Yeah. And you can't
Yeah, no.
you can't compare it to Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
Game of Thrones is an outlier.
So-
Like the only show you can compare this to is fucking Watchmen. Like, the only show you can really compare it to.
Well, holy shit. Okay, so it had
Maybe.
1.5 million viewers for the season finale, and that's a 90% increase from the series premiere. That's fucking incredible.
That's good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's
I mean, they're probably talking about it as we speak. They're probably talking about it this week.
Well,
But-
does anyone know Watchmen's numbers just for comparison purposes?
Oh, no, I don't. I remember there was an article about like Watchmen had like really huge numbers, but I don't remember exactly what they were. But there was a lot of talk because a lot of people wanted a season 2, and
Yeah.
Regina said she wasn't coming back unless David Lindelof was back, and he was like, I don't know what kind of story to tell. Like, I don't know where to go with this.
Was Lovecraft only
Interesting.
available on HBO Max, or was it available on HBO too?
I think it was on HBO as well as HBO Max.
Well, and also just, I mean, obviously there's going to be comparisons because Watchmen was it was like late last year, and this is, obviously less than a year later. But with Watchmen, we knew from the comic and the movie a little bit about that universe. And yeah, for Lovecraft, there's elements of Lovecraftian, monsters a little bit. But this story felt original. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what to expect with this one.
I think that was the beauty of it. Like, nobody knew what the fuck to expect. And I suspect that next season we'll see like something completely different. We may not even see the same cast next season if there's next season. It may be like a new cast that just interacts with the previous cast where they finish out like Kronos was saying, like the little ties and threads, and then they're gone, and we get these new Lovecraftian creatures, maybe even a Cthulhu storyline or whatnot.
that's what I was
Maybe
hoping
there's
for.
like maybe there's like a whole end of the world thing, and they're trying to combat like madness across everywhere. Who knows? It could go anywhere. We
So-
have no idea.
Real quick, props. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna ask. Because the timeline is so fucked up just in terms of like how we're living in our own current life. Watchmen did that win for last year's Golden Egg Plant? Is that on last year's
No,
ballot?
I think the
No,
boys
the
won.
boys won.
Oh,
the
wow.
boys won.
So we're gonna have this next upcoming Golden Egg Plant. We're gonna have Watchmen going head to head with Lovecraft. Is that what we potentially are gonna have?
No,
we'll
we're gonna have the boys
Lovecraft.
going.
Yeah,
boys
we'll have
and
Lovecraft
Lovecraft.
going.
Well, no, because
So wait, no.
no, The Boys was a returning show. Lovecraft is a
Oh,
new
yeah,
show,
yeah.
so they wouldn't go head to head.
So we're gonna have first time shows going head to head, Lovecraft and Watchmen potentially for this upcoming Golden Egg Plant.
Well, Watchmen was last year, so.
But
But
was
that's
it on the
what I
list
just
last
asked you.
time?
Y'all said no.
No, it didn't win. It was up for award, but it didn't win. It lost to.
oh,
It got nominated already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, kind of jumping to the.
I have the numbers.
Sorry, oh, go ahead.
Oh, we got numbers.
Yeah, go ahead, Carlos. I'll
All
take
right.
numbers too.
So
Go
the
for it.
numbers, it's very close to The Watchmen. The Watchmen drew 1.6 million viewers for the finale. And if you look at the numbers for Lovecraft Country, the premiere episode at this point is nearing 10 million viewers for the, overall. So it premiered to like 800,000 or so, but overall so far it's been over 10 million viewers. So that's really good for an HBO show.
Yeah,
with,
So,
with a lot of no name actors, you know what I mean? Like this doesn't have a Regina King in it, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was
But then
just
also,
like
you gotta
someone
take into account like COVID too, because like people are mainly at home and like they're all binge watching this shit. Oh, and I guess they can binge watch it, but they're able to be at home and watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with all the political stuff going on in the world as well, that probably helps kind of focus as well.
Now I know we missed this. Just staying with HBO for a little bit. We're getting they greenlit a Green Lantern series for Green Lantern Corps on HBO Max, but there's a lot of Green Lanterns that have come about. I guess they're not going to focus on Hal, and they're not going to focus on John Stewart, two of the most famous Green Lanterns. But they are going to give us. I really like Jessica Cruz. If you're reading her in like Justice League Odyssey, but we're getting her and a few others. Do you guys have any interest in this? Do you have any faith that this is going to be decent? This is live action. What do you think?
I have some stuff to say, but go ahead, Blue. I know you.
Well, so for me, like I think it's kind of cool for them to do it because they're like lesser known characters, so like people aren't gonna be expecting like straight for the comic book type shit. But with the Latin girl, what I like about her Green Lantern tide is how she's fucked up in the head. Like she is fucking batshit fucking crazy, and her interaction with her ring, because her ring basically almost tells her to fucking basically kill people, and like she doesn't know how to fucking handle that shit. Like she barely has control over her powers. But it'll be interesting to see how they take her story and is able to incorporate it into like a live action thing.
Go ahead.
I feel like this is not the way to go. Like, if you're bringing in the Green Lantern Corps and you don't have Hal and John, and I think there's another one. I think they're not even doing Kyle Rayner. Like what the fuck? I mean, I know that they're supposed to do Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz and like a couple other ones that aren't as popular. I mean, yeah, they have fans or whatnot, but like Hal Jordan and John Stewart. I mean, how do you not have the Green Lantern Corps without the two of them? Which is kind of weird to me. Also, I mean, if you watched season 8 of Arrow, there's this huge fucking like lead up with John Diggle getting a Green Lantern ring, and there's rumors that there's going to be a show with him in it. Like he could be the next John Stewart. I mean, if you watch the show, you can see how it's done because John Stewart is one of the family names he could potentially claim. None of that's going to probably be addressed. They're saying they're going to focus more on the core. I guess it's going to be like a cosmic show, like featured mostly on Oa, I guess. So I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's cool that they're going to bring in the core, but when we went to, I think Prodigy, we went to Comic-Con in 2016, they were advertising that they were going to make a feature-length film with the core. Yeah. Now we're getting a series, so it's just like, what the fuck happened? Like, what's going on over there? So,
Can I just add one other quick thing? Because I agree with where you're coming from, but the other aspect of this is it's expensive to make a Green Lantern show. It's not like making an Arrow show or a regular CW. Yeah. Like the constructs with CGI alone means you're gonna have to invest some real money in there, and I don't want to lose that fact of it. The CGI needs to look excellent, movie quality almost, for this to work. Go ahead.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, especially if they're going to be on Oa. Because Oa's not fucking Earth. Oa has like this weird low density gravity shit. There's going to be creatures from across the universe. So you're going to have to either have CGI characters or really, really, really good like makeup effects, like really good animatronics. That costs money. And so I don't know what they're planning or whatnot. Because this will be live action. So I don't know how they're going to work this out. Maybe they'll do... Oh, I forgot. They're bringing in the girl from Far Sector. She's supposed to be in the show.
Oh.
So Fuck, I can't think of her name right now, but she's supposed to be on the show as well. So those would be like there's supposed to be like 4 or 5. Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, a chick from Far Sector, and I think 2 more. And I mean, if it turns into like a galactic cop show, you can kind of do the whole Star Trek thing where you land on different planets each week and solve the crime or whatnot, being a Green Lantern. That
That's
could
possible.
work. That's very
Yeah.
possible. But if you're gonna focus and be on Oa a lot, that's got to put in a lot of post production work. So I don't
It
know.
looks like homeboy from Lovecraft is going to be on the show. The guy that was the white guy skinwalker that the chick did.
Oh, William.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jonathan Patrick Smith is going to be on the show.
Let's just call him what it is. He's a live action animatronic strap on.
Actually, never mind. See, this is these are speculations. It's not true yet.
Let me give my
Kronos, you got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
interested?
Let me give my thoughts on the show. Honestly, what the DCEU needs, or the DC in general, what their live action whole universe needs, they need a Guardians of the Galaxy, and this could be it. I mean, to be honest, I mean we have the only the DCEU has played it safe with every single one of their movies so far. They're all well-known characters within the DC universe. Most kids and a lot of adults know who all these characters are. They've heard of the Justice League. Everybody knows fucking Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, even Aquaman. Everybody who the fuck. Most people know who the fuck they are. What most people don't know are some of the lesser-known Green Lantern characters, and I think that's a perfect way to kind of get some of these more lesser-known characters more popular, just like they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Because let's be honest, nobody knew who the fuck Guardians of the Galaxy were until that movie came out. Even most of the nerds. So if
I don't know.
yeah, so
and more to the point, nobody cared. Nobody cared
Yeah,
about
it's
aliens.
so if they can do that,
Funny story.
it's a great opportunity for them to capture a lot of money, breathe new life into what is a franchise that's kind of dying. There's only 2 good things about the DCU right now, and it's Aquaman, which will they make another one? Not really sure at this point, and Wonder Woman, who's been pushed back into fucking oblivion. So you know, their DC has left a lot of money on the table for a lot of stuff over the past couple of years, and if they can bring some life back into this universe, let's do it. Make it interesting with more interesting characters that are flawed heroes. New things that we haven't seen before. I think most people are ready for that.
I
You know,
mean,
which I gotta say that, because kind of thinking about like Iron Man. Like Iron Man wasn't an F-class hero until the movie franchise came out. I think he was more like a maybe C, B.
I would say
agree
he
with
was
that?
He was a drunk.
I would say B-lister. He was a B-lister.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
he wasn't very
B+.
popular, but eventually, once the movie came out, like the franchise like took off from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, at
like
the
the-
time.
I'm just gonna say this as someone who Jessica Cruz won me over from the fucking comics. I have seen her go toe to toe with Darkseid, and I know that sounds fucking nuts if you're like the world of DC and comics and whatnot. But go read these runs from Justice League Odyssey. She's done some really badass stuff, and she levels up quickly and wins people over. If they stay true to that, they have a recipe for success that may make her a bigger star than people realize. And I'm hoping that is the case with her. But I'm going to say it right here now. She's actually my favorite Lantern. I like her even more than John and Hal.
I would agree with you.
I will say this.
Cool back there.
Given that Jeff Johns, I think he's executive producing, he has kind of a bad habit of ignoring the predecessor like heroes at times, not all the time, but sometimes he'll skip over some shit with his shows. So I'm hoping they don't just like fuck off John Stewart or Hal Jordan or Kyle Rayner and like don't mention them at all or don't give them the respect that they should have, because they were the ones who paved the way for these other like human lanterns or whatnot. So we shall see. I really hope that David Ramsey is able to come back and be John Stewart for this show. Like, I hope he shows up and becomes a Lantern. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it, and It's been hinted heavily, and then we see this huge Easter egg about it, and then there's been nothing. So,
well, just to give credit where credit's due, I mean, the Arrowverse alone, yeah, we've already talked about the movies and whatnot, but for TV, the Arrowverse was one of the most successful things we've seen comic book wise in TV land.
yeah,
You know, bringing in Flash, you know, the Guardians, Supergirl, all of that. That's been, you know, hit TV for the CW for all of this decade.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's kind of sad because not sad. I'm sorry, I don't want to say sad. I want to say it's just interesting because we had shows like Krypton. Krypton had like a huge budget, and that only lasted 2 seasons. Like, that's
Sci-fi,
gone.
yeah.
We also, I think there was like another show that was out there. Oh, no. So the stuff on the DCU has had some bumps. So we had Titans that had really like people on the fence, and you know, with its first season, apparently apparently the second season is supposed to be better. I haven't seen. We had Swamp Thing, which was excellent from what I saw, but then there's mixed with Doom Patrol. You know, some people don't like it, some people are against it. We got Stargirl. It's not as cohesive as the Arrowverse, but and they have hit and miss shows. But I mean, I have to give it, as much as people complain about how cheesy it was, the Arrowverse fucking brought it. I mean, Arrow is in syndication at this moment. I mean,
8 seasons.
8 seasons. There's these other shows that other people may say are superior, did not get to 8 fucking seasons.
Dude, the Arrow had more better choreographing fight scenes than fucking Iron Fist on Netflix.
Oh yeah, and unfortunately that's so sad, but that hands down the Arrow team, they put in work every time. They put in mad work, and it shows. It shows on the show.
Keep a goddamn promise to save his goddamn life.
Oh, damn.
All right, Old Ninja, I'm putting you on the spot real quick. Are you liking? There's all these online Halloween events, but the one that's getting a lot of fucking buzz and attention, I'm gonna mispronounce it and butcher it, but it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare: The Haunting of Verdansk. Veritity.
Yeah, I mean there are some titties in the game. Oh man, this shit is fucking madness. There's so, I mean, I think I played a little bit with Stitch. Their Halloween event went live yesterday, so that was October 20th. It lasts until November 2nd. There's different events in each mode except for single player, from what I understand. They brought in new multiplayer modes, which has been exceedingly popular. There's the it's called Onslaught, where basically there's a crate where one team has to recover the crate. Whoever gets the crate becomes a Juggernaut. You got to protect the Juggernaut as they make it to the enemy base. If they make it, then you get a point. And it's a round-based mode. It's actually been a lot of fun. It's cool because the Juggernaut has like a flaming pumpkin head when he's like roaming through shooting through people. It's fucking super fast-paced.
And he has the thick-ass armor and the minigun, right?
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, he's got an armor and a minigun. He's located on the map, but his health is slightly lowered, so it gives you the chance to actually kill. If you work together, you can kill the Juggernaut. If you kill the Juggernaut, he drops the crate. You got to reacquire the crate, and then try to get back to the enemy base. It's fucking fun as fuck. The big one though is the Zombie Royale in Warzone, where it's fucking like the map is all dark. Basically, it's nighttime in the map. There's hidden treasures. They give you a map of where you can find these like treasures. They're basically emblems and calling cards and blueprints and whatnot. There's 16 of them scattered throughout the map. You can find them. You just got to open crates. Basically, just open crates. You'll randomly get one. It's not like super impossible. If you're playing and your teammate dies, they come back as a zombie. The zombie has 3 powers, I guess. You can super jump, you can charge your jump, you can jump technically over a building. You can also throw out a gas grenade to disorient players, and then you can send out an EMP. And then being a zombie, you can like just maul the person, and when they die, they leave like a vial, if you can collect 2 vials, you become human again. So then, if you become human, you can come back. When you come back with all the weapons that you had, but not the money. So you have all your weapons and whatnot. The gas is still closing in. You have a smaller, even though you're on the huge map, the ring is smaller. The gas moves faster. If you're a zombie, you can move through the gas.
They still have the gulag?
Huh?
Do they still have the gulag for multiplayer?
No. So instead of going to gulag, you come back as a zombie. If you can get a vial, you come back as a human. If you have a teammate that's a human and they have enough cash, they can like basically resurrect you, I guess, and you can come back. As long as one teammate is a human and you make it to the extraction, you win the round. So the whole point is to like rip through as many zombies. If you get killed as a zombie, then you're out. And then someone has to buy you back. You have to resurrect you, which is harder to come back because money is like sometimes hard to get. It's just the map has been made kind of crazy because like there's ghosts through the map. If you go down to the subway system, there's a ghost train running through. There will be like creepy sounds in certain buildings and whatnot. Just madness. You can hear zombies running through the map. You can hear them jump. It's just it's super crazy. A lot of people have been freaking out on the map. It's been really packed. It's been a lot of fun. It's a great event that they got going.
Stitch, what you think of it?
It's fun. I got to play a couple rounds before I hooked up with Old Ninja. And then my external hard drive had catastrophic failure, so I had to re-download all 100-something plus gigabytes of Call of Duty to get it back online. I was a fucking task.
Are you sure it was dead?
What's that?
Are you sure it was dead?
I tried rebooting and all kinds of stuff. I even took the hard drive and tried it on Lilo's PlayStation, and it just would not read it at all. So then I tried reading it on a laptop. It still wouldn't read it or anything. So I was just like, well, sort of kind of fucked with that and everything.
Like,
so,
I wonder if did you do the new update that came out recently? Because I heard that was fucking.
Yeah, it had been working post the update. So I'd done the update and it was working, and then all of a sudden it just decided to. I mean, Storm ended up grabbing the thing and just yanking it out or whatever. Kind of when I had my head turned, she's like, "Nah, fuck your game," and she snatched it out of there and everything. And normally it'll say like, "Oh, I have to reboot it properly and stuff." So I did that a couple times, and it just was not working. Like I would be able to turn it on, but I couldn't get into the game at all. It would just like freeze up. So tried troubleshooting, but it like just came back online, so I should be good after the cast to play with Old Ninja. But
well, luckily you got cloud saves.
What was that?
Said luckily you got cloud saves because I went through catastrophic shit before too. But PlayStation does a really good job of like being able to like restore your shit back. As long as you have PlayStation Plus, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. The PlayStation Plus thing came in huge because that was my concern. I was like, am I gonna lose all my progress or anything? I mean,
nope.
Luckily,
I was gonna say the one thing with PlayStation Plus though is it like it's only good when you have it. So say like you have like all your games saved on there and somehow your account lapsed. Do they save all of your saved games to the cloud when you renew your account? Or once that shit lapsed?
No, I think it's gone. Yeah, I think they delete it pretty much immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like elitist or anything like that, but I mean, there's no reason for my shit I mean, if I'm having struggle paying the $15 every a month or whatever, I probably should be on PlayStation or whatever. I probably should be doing better things with my money. So I can't afford $15 a month.
So with me, like, I got a new credit card, and I didn't realize that my PlayStation Plus had lapsed, and like it was lapsed for like a good 6 months. Because I wasn't really downloading any of the content or anything because I was playing for a while. But I mean, I guess that was a bad call on my judgment because since I wasn't downloading any of the benefits from the PlayStation Plus network.
Yeah, the online gaming thing is pretty much how I know like when I'm getting my money's worth with the PlayStation Plus on that. But like Old Ninja said, the game mode is really, really fun. Playing as the zombies is really cool because they jump. You can jump on top of some tall ass buildings. You just charge it up and you leap Like you can damn near almost jump on top of like the hospital building and shit if you just aim it right. Like you're better at leaping and jumping than you are running, and it's pretty fun. It's at night, and so the whole night mode of it is pretty fucking kind of, I don't want to say scary because it's not scary, but it's a whole new element, so it makes it really really fun. So they're supposed to be doing this for, I guess it's a 2-week period, and I just feel dirty. Call of Duty's been just taking my money and everything.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm pretty disciplined, and I bought the fucking hyena or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't. It's bad, but I'm enjoying it. But for somebody that doesn't really spend money on bullshit like DLC and like skin packages and like stupid fucking perks, like they get me every goddamn time. With the battle
You're a
pass.
whale.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
it's hella funny. It's funny to me because every time we'll squad up and then I see Stitch's character, I'm like, "What's that? Did you buy that?" He's all, "What you talking about?" He's all, "I don't see nothing. I've been had that." I'm all, "Hold on."
I got a problem. Just put it right in my vein. It's bad. I can't even deny it. I need to go to rehab or whatever. Send me down to like SoCal. Yeah, but it's really really fun. And then I guess what we got 2.5 weeks till then.
Yeah,
till
until
PlayStation
November
5
2nd.
drops.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot to mention about the money that you keep, how they get people. So you can play as Leatherface or Jigsaw. And they
Yeah.
have some Dr. Hall, some other, I guess he's some horror doctor. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. He looks creepy. I guess he looks like a creepy Dr. Moreau type shit. But like, if you play as Leatherface, there's a gun in the game that they modified to kind of look like a chainsaw that it fucking shoots bullets and shit at you. And then like, if you're Jigsaw, you're like normal size. Everyone thought that you were gonna be like a midget, which would be unfair if you're really small as Jigsaw, but you're just like a normal sized like character, but you just look like Jigsaw, which can be scary at night. If you see Jigsaw running at you full speed, can be fucked up. Also, if you're in a home that has a TV on, every now and then Jigsaw will appear on the TV. It's kind of
Wanna
fun.
play a game?
Yeah.
And then quick question, because for the normally I could care less about like backwards compatibility and shit like that, but this time I guess it'll actually play in as a factor because I don't see myself putting down this game in 2 weeks. So, from my understanding, and I guess Old Ninja or somebody else correct me if I'm wrong, because I have this already on the 4, when I get the 5, I can just go to my library and play it straight off the 5. Is that correct?
It depends if it's on the list. There are certain games
Yeah.
that are on the list, so I don't know if that's one of them because it's a little bit older.
This one should be. This one should
No,
be.
Yeah,
the list I
just
saw
check.
it was like random ass games. Like the only one that stood out to me was like Afro Samurai 2, and I was like, I didn't even know they made an Afro Samurai 2.
Wait, there's a one?
Yeah, oh yeah, 1 was good. It was on like PlayStation 3, but I just wanted to make sure, I guess, that I'll be able to just re-download it without having to pay and just be able to like, all right, yeah, it's a PS4 game. Because I'm gonna have to keep swapping over rooms or go to a different console to play this when I'm done playing Miles Morales Spider-Man.
You know what? I didn't
Speaking of
research
Miles.
it. I would imagine that perhaps maybe just Warzone, but I'm not 100% on that. I don't know if Cronus was looking, because he's not playing the game, so he probably doesn't care.
I do not care.
So I don't know. I didn't really look into it, but I can check.
You should.
Hopefully this
I mean, it looks that way. It definitely, all indications indicate that. Real quick to switch it up a little bit though. Cronus, you got in here on a Ghost co-op, right?
Well, sort of. I didn't actually. I'm playing Legends, yes, but I haven't not actually played co-op yet. I'm playing through because you can play solo if you want, and it's fucking. We're talking about Ghost of Tsushima, by the way. I'm sorry, we didn't actually say the name of the game. Ghost of Tsushima dropped a new DLC on the 16th, which is last week, October 16th, and it adds in Legends mode, where basically it's an online multiplayer component that you can play co-op. And then it also added in New Game Plus mode, which I'm also playing right now. So far, it's really cool. Legends has like a story mode, so there's like multiple Legend stories that you can play, and then it also has survival mode that you can play with other people. I think it's up to 4-player co-op, and so far it's been really interesting. I've played both the story mode and the survival mode briefly, and beyond the fact that it's these new modes that are in. Whoa, what the hell just happened? Beyond the fact that these new modes are in, we also have different kinds of ghosts. So. You can be a samurai, you can be an assassin, you could be a Ronin, and like an archer type dude. And so they all are different because they have different special abilities. I picked the Ronin because you can heal people and you can bring them back to life while far away. Like none of the other classes can do that. The assassin can obviously kill people like much faster with assassinations. The archer has like this auto tracking like 3-shot ability where you basically, if anybody's like in your field of view, it'll shoot all of them at once. I forget what the samurai does. The samurai plays like kind of normal, is like the normal Jin Sky. And what's cool is like you can pick up like other items. It's more like an RPG, and that's because you can pick up items that can enhance your experience, like including like charms, different swords, different like accessories, but you have to choose. Like you can pick kunai or like cluster or bombs, And then so far, one thing that's kind of weird is that when you get different sword power ups, you have to pick like what stance you're in, and that's kind of fucking annoying. Because when you're playing the normal game, you can change your stance like once you learn them over time.
Yeah.
But in this one, the swords so far are tied to a different stance. So if I want to have like the shield breaking stance, there's a shield breaking sword, and you can't. They're not interchangeable as you're playing the game that I can see. You can only like change it before the game. So I kind of don't like that. But
so yeah, you need prep time when you go into battles.
Yeah, well, or you just gotta modify the way you play, right? Because like if you're going up against like a brute and you have like the shield. I'm sorry, not the shield one. Or like the spear orientated stance, then it's like it's more difficult to beat the fucking brute guy because you have to use like a totally different tactic. Whereas if you just had the brute stance, you could just heavy attack him to stagger him. So it's kind of a trade off. But what's cool is that there's sort of new enemy types, and they're reusing sort of the old types, but like putting new spins on them. Like one of the examples is they have these twin soul like enemies, where basically you see these two enemies and there's like a link between them, like this red link. And if you kill one of them, the other one will basically. Well, the other one's not that he's more powerful, but if he's still alive, there's a timer that goes down to where if you don't kill the other guy in time, the other guy resurrects. So you have to basically kill 2 people within quick succession, or the other guy will come back. And then they'll have like, then they'll have like these other guys where they have like this this extremely large field of influence where you can't kill anybody within this field of influence until you kill the guy that is actually spreading out the field of influence. So you have to like be really careful on like what you do on those levels, because if you try to go in there and try to jack people, like they're not gonna fucking die very easily. Like it's almost impossible to kill them because they constantly regenerate health. And
Damn, that sounds like what is it? Not the Fallen, but the Taken from Destiny.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
So it's really cool additions to the game, and then also in New Game Plus, they added in like plus modes for the difficulty as well. So with New Game Plus comes, like I play on hard mode, so now they have hard mode plus or survival plus. So it makes it a little bit harder, but you start the game with all the shit that you had when you beat the game. So that makes it a little more even. And then you can also skip over cutscenes. Thank goodness. And when you start New Game Plus, it starts like it cuts out like the vast majority of the beginning of the game, like the whole like first scenes with the Mongols, and it cuts off probably like a good 30 minutes of the game.
Good.
But you already played it, and it's shit that you already know what's gonna happen, so it's like who cares, and like being able to skip over cutscenes, like it's fun. So, and they also added in, because it's like if you platinum the game like I did, like there was nothing for you to do at the end of the game, right? So you already got like basically everything. So it's like, well, what's the point of playing the game again? Well, they put in like this new dye vendor, and there's new items in the game. But you have to get these items though, you have to use like these special kinds of flowers. And so when you beat missions and other things in the game, they give you special flowers. So it's like a whole new currency to get all the new shit. So it's pretty cool way that they're going about it.
It seems like Sucker Punch is supporting the fuck out of this game, which I love to hear, you know?
Yeah, it was a real surprise. I mean, like, if you play the game, it's a lot like, you know, Destiny or The Division, where they have, like, gear score, you know? Like, they added that in. And they didn't announce any of this at launch. Like, when the game launched, I thought it was just single player and, like, you're good to go. And then all of a sudden, months later, like, oh, yeah, here goes some co-op, here goes some new game plus, you know?
That's like GTA 5. Like, the original game was just a single player, and all of a sudden they added co-op and this and that, and now it's like the #1 fucking top-selling fucking game every fucking year.
Yeah, but unlike GTA 5, there's been no serious glitches with their online component.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because GTA 5, when it first came out, it was fucked up. You couldn't play it.
Yeah.
Are you using that that photo? Not that photo mode, but that like the black and white.
No, I'm not.
Mode?
I thought about it, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Maybe I should have though.
It
It is a
look
cool
pretty
ass
dope,
mode. Yeah, it is a dope ass mode. Like the way you should play the game is in the Kurosaki. I think it's Kurosaki
Yeah.
or Kurosawa. Some Kurosawa. It's in Kurosawa mode. It's in black and white. It gives you film grain, and the audio is a little different. It's like old school Kurosawa film ish, and then it's also in Japanese only, so with subtitles.
That
I mean,
sounds
that
like
sounds
a
fucking
fucking
dope.
yeah.
Oh,
samurai
you
movie.
don't do
you can
subtitles, Prodigy. Where you want
I
to
do sometimes. You know.
Oh, please.
You can always go
Jackass.
into your TVs and fucking turn down the fucking color down to black and white.
Yeah, good. I got that new TV, so it's fucking dope. I got the dopest TV recently.
Which one is it?
I got the TC. Yeah, so I picked up the TCL 6 series. So, because I knew that I was gonna get, you know, the PS5, I decided I needed a new TV, but I didn't like one that was 4K with HDR, which I had one in my my main room, but I didn't have one for the Infinity base. I had like this kind of small. It's like a 32-inch old school 1080p
Yeah.
screen, so it was like really small. It plays games, but it's not great for gaming. So I got this new TCL 6 series, and goddamn, this is the best TV I think I've ever bought, and it only cost me $650 fucking dollars. Like,
It's not bad.
the colors
bad at
on it
all.
are amazing. The 4K contrast ratio is fucking amazing. I played some pure 4K HDR content on here from YouTube, and god damn, it's nice. It's a really, really nice screen, and it comes with a Roku built in.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Dude,
go ahead.
have you watched any like nature documentaries on there? Because that's like my favorite thing to do with a new TV.
No, I just watched like just some 4K stuff. I'm gonna watch some 4K nature stuff too, but I was just trying to watch like I had this whole like color thing, or
Okay.
like test out the colors, and it was just like it looked realer than fucking real life. I was just
Nice.
like, it's amazing. Once you guys see the screen, it's pretty cool. Let me see if I can hold on. I could probably
I
turn
would
it
say
on.
you should do like a technically it's not an unboxing thing, but make like a quick YouTube video doing like because I mean, people are just sitting at home or whatever. I'm sure people, especially with new gaming systems, are gonna want to buy a TV and stuff like that, and they know you know your shit on electronics and stuff. So
Yeah,
maybe if you get time, do like maybe like a 5-minute video just on like the TV and what it features and what it looks like.
I probably will, but let me just show you.
Cronus,
Hold on.
I was gonna say just for Cronus and I, we both for our living room TVs, we both have the Vizio like 50-inch, the Q something. I think what it's
65
called.
inch. Yeah.
But yeah, that at the time that was a fucking dope ass fucking TV. Like had really great quality and all that stuff. So that was like 3 years ago. So
Yeah, and this one blows that away. All right, so I'll just show you one feature that I haven't seen before this. All right, so this is my
The camera's moving.
this is my 6 series TCL. And if you look
like a
where it says
window.
PlayStation, like that's live.
Yeah.
Like that's actually like the game. Like
oh shit, that's fucking
that you can
crazy.
play. I mean, it gives you a preview of what that
It's
input
like a
is.
picture in picture.
Yeah, it's like really fucking cool, and it's super bright. The blacks are really good. The contrast ratio is really good. And I just cannot
What-
believe.
What do you mean the blacks?
Yeah,
Come
the
on.
blacks. You know,
Oh.
the Negroes. Yeah,
Is it pretty much just plug and play, or did you need to get any sort of special accessories with it to get it like up and running to full power? Or anything?
no. The only thing that I will note is that if you're gonna get HDR, if you're gonna get a new console, and you want to get HDR10 and all that, 4K, fucking 60 hertz or 60 FPS or above, you should really get a HDMI 2.1 capable cable, or at least something that it has 48. I think it's 48 gigs, or at least 40 gigs cable, or you're gonna miss some of the features. Like the feature that it showed you, I think it's called eARC, and that's a feature that you're only gonna get through HDMI 2.1 cable, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
a lot of TVs have like one port that has that feature. Like all the other ports we know HDMI.
yeah.
Because I remember like back in the day or whatever, there was, I mean, you could go to like a Best Buy and there'd be like a $60 HDMI cable, like a $10 HDMI cable, and like you would just go in there and be like, I don't know what the fuck the difference is, and then I'll just get the expensive one because I guess that's better. And then I remember like people just saying like for a little bit of time there was no difference between
there's still
more
a difference.
expensive HDMI cables and the cheaper ones. But what you're saying now is with 4K now you need to get, I guess, a better quality HDMI cable. Is that correct?
No. So it's not a better quality cable per se. It's just a different cable. Like so there's different. So HDMI 2.1 is a standard. So they're still gonna have these crazy ass, like you could probably buy a $100 cable that's HDMI 2.1. But the thing is that it's the same exact cable. So this is the problem. Like people are fucking stupid. They're not stupid. They just don't know. It's a digital signal, so it's either on or off. All right. So I don't care if it's made out of fucking unicorn hair. It's gonna display the exact same signal as something that's copper. So I don't care if it's palladium, unobtainium in the core. It does. It's on and off.
Gold, platinum, silver.
Yeah, back in the day with analog signals, where it's like a waveform. Yeah, the quality of the cable did matter, but when it's just on and off, like it doesn't matter. So, yeah, just the HDMI 2.1 it's just a standard. So as long as it says HDMI 2.1 or 40 gigabits or above for the cable, you should be good to go. But don't go out and pay $100 for a cable for an HDMI cable.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's basically the cabling doesn't matter. It's the port.
Yeah, it's just like you notice how nobody cares about what kind of network cable that you have, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all just the same shit. Like, because it's all digital. It's the same. If you go to monoprice.com, that's where I get all my cables from. It's one of the cheapest places. Yeah, they're cheap. They work. They don't fucking break. So,
I just looked it up and for a 3-foot cable, it's only like $10.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it gives you the same standard of quality that you're gonna need. And if you have some crazy ass, surround sound system that has Dolby Atmos and all that stuff, then you're definitely gonna want to have an HDMI 2.1, cable to support both your video and audio needs. So yeah, that's the only caveat. Is just the cable. Out of the box, the performance is excellent. It automatically goes into game mode when you turn the game on, so it gives you all the added in game features, which are plentiful. It changes the refresh rate on the screen for you automatically. It changes turns HDR on for you. The only thing you might have to change in your PlayStation, you probably have to turn on HDR. Because I don't think it turns on automatically. Because mine didn't.
Okay.
So that's the only real caveat for the TV. But yeah, $650, you cannot go wrong with this TV. If you buy this TV and you are not satisfied, you got to tell me like what you have a problem with it. Because so far, it's nothing. One time it rebooted on me. That was it.
What's the actual model that you have? Like, can you...
It's the TCL 6 series, like the actual model number. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's the 6 series this year. But hold on. I think it's like a 635 or something like that. Hold on.
So I talk about it real quick. So I know that with the Kronos have the PlayStation Pro. I wonder if it's the same. What the fuck's going on? So then Prodigy, what the hell are you doing?
My bad. I put the phone in a different angle.
On your penis?
No, but I thought you were like milking a fucking cow or some shit.
He was jerking
He was
off.
milking something.
Hot. It was hot.
What's the name of that
Whip the dick out.
newscaster that got
That
caught
Buddhist.
whacking off on Zoom?
Jeffrey Toobin.
what's his name?
I was gonna bring that up on the
Jeffrey
next thing.
Toobin.
Isn't that
I made a
Chatterbait?
good segue. Okay, what's the model of the TV?
It's the TCL 55-inch 6 series. The model number is 55R635. And I'll
And
put
you
it.
bought that off of Amazon, right?
Bought it off Amazon for $650. You can probably get it cheaper when Black Friday comes, but I mean, the TV's fucking great. The only thing that I think that'll be better than this TV is when when the 8 series or 9 series comes available again for the price, but it's not available right now. So
All right.
So yeah, so I guess with everybody working at home and stuff like that, doing business meetings, always a good thing not to jerk off during your Zoom meeting. It's sort of something that I didn't think we need to tell people, but apparently there's what was it? He's like a legal analyst for like CNN or something.
yeah, for a whole bunch of places.
Yeah, thought it was just cool to just start beating his meat during a business Zoom call.
Who
But
does
did he
that?
play the Yin Yang Twins in the background? Wait till you see my dick.
You know what? Who fucking does this? Like, if
That
you're on
guy.
a business call, what? I don't understand. Like, why? Why would you do this while you know that you're in a meeting and there's potentially other people watching you?
That
Dude.
you know the administrative assistant got big old titties, and it's been a while, and you know sometimes your meat tell you what to do, not the other way around.
You have to be a psychopath to just be jerking off during like business meetings. Like, all right, let's talk about the budget and what we're gonna do for this fourth quarter period. And then all of a sudden you just be like, yo, I'm ready to go. I need to get the grapeseed oil out. It makes no sense.
You said grapeseed oil,
He said
not baby
grapeseed
oil.
He said grapeseed oil. He didn't say lotion or baby oil or fucking KY. He said grapeseed oil. Like,
Psychopaths.
Not even
I'm trying to
Crisco.
understand the man. It's like trying to understand the mind of psychopath. Sometimes, I mean, obviously, if baby oil and just beating off in a bathroom into a sock or some toilet paper ain't doing it for this guy. He's bringing it up to a different level. So I don't know if he's using Crisco or fucking Pam or whatever.
But during so I'm trying to put this together. Like, he knew that during a Zoom meeting. I mean, I guess you can turn your camera off, obviously, but maybe he was looking at the office assistant or the executive admin, and he
Looking
was
at
just
her
like,
face.
I don't know. Maybe
Some
she
of
had
them
a
got
little-
hot faces, man.
Maybe, I don't know, dude. If people are getting off on pissing and shitting, then I'm pretty sure you can get off of looking at just some chick's face.
I don't know why you're looking at me, old ninja. While you saying that. That's not cool.
I didn't mention no names. I didn't say none of that.
You
All
implied.
I'm just gonna say trans rights matter. I'm just gonna say that.
You're always going there.
Yeah.
This guy. I mean, all jokes aside, he fucked up his own bag
While
with this
fucking
bullshit.
himself.
Yeah, by fucking himself, and I mean, the only saving grace is this still sounds better than what Giuliani may have almost done,
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
but it's not much. This is awful.
This,
Are we talking
I
about
mean,
this-
shit.
The dude jacking off on Zoom?
Yeah.
How did y'all even? I didn't even hear about this. Like, what the fuck?
It was
Like,
all, it was
this
big
is-
news.
Dude,
Yeah,
it was
like-
all-
So if you think about it, this dude literally got paid to jerk off during a fucking meeting. I mean, up until he got caught, he was still employed. So for
Well,
a,
so the one thing I don't understand. So I mean, I can understand like fuck if you're working from home, middle of the day. I had a crazy fucking day and then just work one out. But like, I never came to the point where I'm like, look, I'm like in a meeting and I'm like, fuck, I need to work one out. Like this guy literally had, like during the meeting, he had on his mind that he's about to go fucking jerk one off and bust a nut. To the point where he did not realize that his fucking camera was on. Like,
Yeah,
how
I
the
mean-
fuck did that even happen?
Did he even? But I mean, I've heard a few of these stories throughout the pandemic. Like kids are in like doing their Zoom
Well, no.
classroom, and the moms are back there with no drawers on in the background.
I saw that video. Like that shit was like legit.
I'm just like, oh shit! Like, how do people not know that? Like, if someone's on a laptop, you should probably assume, especially if they're talking to their laptop.
It happens. It actually happens on Twitch all the fucking time too. There's plenty of streamers on there where the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the old, the mom, whatever, rolls by and draws panties or nothing while the stream is going on. I mean, some of those are just by accident, but this guy was doing this bullshit like whacking off during work on purpose. Like,
So,
What's kind of crazy about this is that you can't even say that, because I think that's like in his 60s or something like that. You can't even count it to old age because, I mean, the dude knows how to use a goddamn computer to look at porn. So he knows how to fucking close the goddamn browser to be able to like stop the camera from fucking working.
oh wait, this is an older guy.
Yeah. In his 60s, like mid 60s, late 60s.
How often do you guys ever get caught the first time doing some shit you shouldn't be doing? Never. So you know that this wasn't this dude's first fucking time jerking off during some business meeting or underneath the desk, and this is not his first time doing some crazy shit like this.
So maybe the other crazy thing is that so the other crazy thing is that the dude was standing up to whack off. Like, who the fuck stands up to whack off?
Who stands up to take a shit, Blue?
Yeah. But no, like the people who were on the Zoom call saw his junk. It was like, so right now we're podcasting, and when you're on a Zoom call, you're sitting down, and if you wanted to whack off, like there's no way you can see like somebody whacking off unless they stood up, because the people talk about how they saw his fucking penis.
He's basically one of these people in a trench coat walking down the street, opening it up. Like he wanted you to see that his Franken beans.
Yeah, I'm about to say, did he want to quit? That's one hell of a way to quit or get fired.
Well, apparently he took a leave of absence.
That's not quit. That's called being blackballed. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Ain't nobody gonna hire him quickly.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
All right, guys. Oh, God.
No, say
I got one last thing.
I was trying to wrap it up. I'm trying to get on this this haunting of Modern Warfare.
No, okay. There's one last thing because it just passed today, because it's trending on Twitter. San Francisco has unanimously passed the Karen Act today.
Oh.
It is it's a caution against racial and exploitative non-emergencies Karen Act. So basically, it's illegal now for you to call 911 on somebody just because they're black or brown in San Francisco, that's a long time coming.
Yeah,
seriously.
Very much.
Good.
Hey, see what's trending right now is Rudy Giuliani says his compromising scene in new Borat film is complete fabrication.
yeah. They fabricated it, but you pulling down your pants almost with a 15-year-old girl in a hotel room. All right.
Yeah.
Or what you thought was a 15-year-old. Nasty ass. All right, guys. Blue, what you got popping this week?
Shit. Fuck, I had everything set up, so I was gonna say. This weekend, so if you didn't know, that Sweetness and I moved into our house about more than a year ago. I have a bunch of stuff at the Sweetness parents' house, and like, hey, you need to come get your shit, or we're gonna fucking throw shit away. So I need to kind of make room for that. But there's something else I want to talk about. Maybe I might talk about it next week, but it's still exciting. But so I got to do yard work still. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. So I've been kind of since I own my own home for the first time. I've been getting into like home automation. So like I already have like lights and stuff set up that are controlled by Alexa and like automatic like keypads into the house, stuff like that. But I bought a smart they're called robot vacuum cleaners, and I bought one called the Kylo Ren or something like that. And the robot vacuum is really cool because it goes around and cleans it vacuums everything and it does a really good fucking job at that. But the one I bought was kind of dumb because it would just go back and forth, but it actually wouldn't clean like the entire fucking house. And actually went off I only bought it because it was cool and it was blue and it had like fucking lights. I'm like, okay, the price range and stuff was pretty cool.
It's the Fast and Furious of fucking robot vacs.
But then,
recent strength.
I just
Oh, what happened, Blue?
Blue
Shit,
stuck,
we lost him.
stuck in time.
Yep.
Okay, well,
The vacuum cut him off.
Oh, there we go, Blue. You were gone for a second.
oh shit, okay, where did you guys last heard me at? Because I think the
Vacuum.
robot probably killed me.
the vacuum.
I bought two robots, robot vacuums. One's a Kaibo. It's Kaibo. And that one was really cool. It did a good job. It's small, portable, it's not that loud. But it was kind of dumb because it would miss areas. Because it would just be able to go around, bouncing around like fucking... You know how when you're watching like a DVD and that loading screen is kind of like bouncing around on the screen? It basically did that. Except it went side to side, so it kind of had some kind of intelligence to it, but it didn't do that great of a job. So I had to upgrade something a little bit smarter. So I got because there's Roomba, there's iRobot Roomba, there's Shark, there's Dyson, there's other robots out there. But I decided to buy one called Robot Rock. And this one has like lasers and stuff, and it like scans your whole fucking apartment and does all this kind of crazy shit. But it's actually pretty fucking dope. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Like you can say like, hey, go clean this room, and it will go and clean that room. Or you can say like, hey, go clean this other room. And what's so cool about it too is that it has a mop feature on there too. So it vacuums and mops too. So say like if it goes to a room that has carpet, it would just vacuum. But once it gets to an area where it's like there's hardwood floors, it would vacuum and mop at the same fucking time. And the mopping features isn't like perfect. It isn't like you're scrubbing like a spot or something like that. It's just like a slight glaze over there to pick up any kind of like loose dirt or anything that's on the ground. But I don't know. So far, I've been having like so much fun. Like even just doing research about these goddamn vacuum robots. Because one kind of cool thing was that back in middle school, I was part of this robot program where basically like we had to build robots that would survive on Mars and be able to migrate around there. So like there was like obstacle course, like we had to literally build a robot to go over this course and pick up a certain amount of materials before it got to the launching pad. And this is like back in, so I was in 8th grade, so this was like 1989 when this happened. And like we're working with like NASA people for this fucking program. And like our team came in first place because like we had this cool system where it would basically drag a net and would pick up material as the robot went by. But it had like quad traction controlling, so it actually would move around like in 180 degrees if it needed to get to bypass obstacles like that. So seeing this robot go around cleaning my goddamn house kind of takes me back to being a kid again. But so the robot that I ended up buying is called the Robot Rocky S5 Max. So if anybody want to purchase one, it's on Amazon. I wish we had a link to it because we probably can get some kind of kickback, but I don't know, it's a pretty cool robot, and it's what's also kind of cool, you can name it. So my robot name is Kit. So I'll be like, hey, I'll say like, Alexa, tell Robot Rocky to start Kit cleaning. And then all of a sudden it'll start cleaning.
Oh.
It's talking in the
He's always
background.
listening.
She is.
Alexa's
I
listening.
personally said it wrong, so she wouldn't actually start it because she wouldn't get mad.
See that robot bitch listen. That's good.
Ooh, that thing wasn't.
All
It's
right,
not.
Cronus, what you got?
That thing ain't cheap, Blue.
Mm-mm.
It's $650.
It is not cheap. Don't tell the streamers that.
It's called the Robo Rock S5 Max, not Robo Rocky. I hath found it.
Yeah, Robot.
No,
It's actually, it should be like $550
yeah, $550.
on Amazon.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
Well, no. So the other one, the Kai robot I bought was $300. So it's just price.
Yeah, makes sense.
Something smarter.
Me, I'm gonna keep enjoying my TV while I can, while raising children. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Watch Dogs Legion's coming out. Comes out at the end of the month. I'm also looking forward to ending my goddamn sobriety next Sunday. Sunday. I mean, if I stay up late enough on Halloween, I'll do it. You know, that night at midnight. So I'll have a drink at midnight. And I think it's also daylight savings day on that day, right? So I think I gain an hour or something like that. I can sleep in more or some shit. Sleep forward, fall back, right?
Oh, you fall back.
Yeah, fall back.
Yeah, so I get an hour. So yeah, I can get a little extra drunk because I work on Sundays. Yeah, other than that, you know.
Bass coming along?
What's up?
How's the bass coming along? So I've seen some great artwork in the background.
Oh yeah, you know, I just put up some more artwork as you can see in the background. There's another painting from K-Mac of Thanos. There's two of them up there now, and there's if you look at the Hulk that's over there, that's from my oldest daughter, and then the Koi was actually my tattoo that I have on my chest. That was by K-Mac too. So I'll put up some more artwork, and you can see all my comics, my loose comics that are sitting around that I'm catching up on.
What's that green thing in the background?
Oh, that's a drill.
Oh.
It's a yeah.
He's
it's
on.
a drill. Yeah,
it's a
Hitachi drill.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
just put
it
up-
looks like the little robots from Ninja Turtles. Like the little green robots that you had to like fucking like drop, like get down low and like kick them in the bottom.
Oh yeah. No, I actually need a new one. This one kind of it's old and it's starting to suck now. So every time Rick comes over, he has this badass. I forget the fucking kind he uses, but I really want it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
He has a lot of toys.
Yeah, I do.
Rick Sanchez, because Rick Sanchez have all kind of crazy toys.
Yeah. Oh, this is just a PSA for people that are out there. If you own a car and you brake and you start using your brakes and you hear a grind or feel a grind in your fucking brake pedal, change your goddamn brakes. Like I went through a thing with my oldest daughter. This is not necessarily her fault because it's her first car, but I drove, 2,000 plus miles cross country, and the first time I pulled into a gas station, I noticed that it was brakes were grinding, and I was just like, what the fuck? So I immediately, as soon as I got home, I bought new brakes and rotors because I was like, if I could feel the grinding and hear the grinding, like it's probably metal on metal. And yeah, I took the pads off, and sure enough, there was literally 0 brake pads left. It was rubbing the metal on the back of the pad. So yeah, change your brakes, do maintenance on your cars. Thank goodness I drove most of the time because if we had to do some emergency braking in that car, we would not have fucking made it. So yeah. Anyway,
What's
that's
kind
all I
of
got.
crazy, kind of piggyback on what you said, Carlos, is that the Sweetness needed new tires for her car, and like literally, I could feel, like from the passenger seat, I could feel that she needed new tires.
Yeah.
Like, I went to Costco to get new tires, and like she was riding on fucking
Wires.
On the wires were showing.
Yeah.
All right, old ninja, are you still there?
Yeah, they're still here.
All right, what you got?
I mean myself. So I'm definitely riding this Haunting of Verdansk shit. Gonna be smashing on this. Still playing some Star Wars Squadrons. I'm actually behind on my reading. Trying to read these Alphabet Squadron books because the
It's a good one.
games
Yeah.
have reminded me to keep reading because there's a bunch of lore and stuff that. I mean, they do Easter eggs in the game. It's not like super important, but it keeps reminding me like, hey, I need to finish these books. We didn't talk about any of the comic stuff, but it came out a couple months ago. But the Ninja Turtles Ronin, I want to try to pick that up because it's about the last Ninja Turtles that survived, and I guess they chronicle what happened. It's a limited run, and it should be done, I think, this month, something like that. So I want to try to either pick them all up, or I doubt there's a trade, but if there's a trade, I'm definitely going to pick that up. That's kind of about it. Just going to be, gaming a whole lot, and that's about it.
Stitch, what you got?
I plan on doing the whole Call of Duty Halloween shit. I'm gonna hop on that, and now that everything seems to be back to normal. Also, I stopped at the GameStop today just to put some more money on the side down on the PlayStation 5, and it was sort of announced, but they confirmed that some of the accessories for the PlayStation 5 are going to be coming out prior to launch of the actual 5 itself. So if people are out there that haven't ordered like a controller or a headset or something like that, there's a way where you don't have to actually wait till launch day when it's going to be a zoo at your local GameStop or Walmart, wherever you got the pre-ordered your 5 at, and you can seem. It looks like you can kind of get your hands on that prior to actual launch day, which is really cool. On this, on a personal note, I've gotten a little Storm to sort of repeat after me when I say dad or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really cool thing it was like 2 days ago. I was able to kind of get her to do it, but when I pull out my phone, she gets she gets all focused on the phone. I was like, damn it, I can't record it. But I was able to get to like record her like on the side. Like I just held my phone at like a weird angle, got her to do it. So that was really cool to see that whole happen, and just little symbolic fatherhood stuff. And then cooking wise, I'm trying to make a lobster and scallop pot pie.
God
Yeah.
damn, that sounds fancy.
Yeah, that sounds difficult.
It is. Baking has always been an Achilles heel of mine. Like I can do lobster thermidor. I can do all kinds of random cooking stuff. I can't bake to save. I can't make chocolate chip cookies. Like I fuck that up every single time. The last time I made chocolate chip cookies, I was like, okay, I just put the tray in. I was like, well, I'll just put 2 trays in and put one on the bottom shelf, one on the top shelf. No, wrong, because then the heat gets all fucked up or whatever. And this goes way back to like even like in high school days. Like I took I think 5 cooking classes in high school, and I remember one of the times I had to bake something. I put baking soda instead of baking powder. Fucked up this like Irish like bread dish that I was cooking up. So
soda bread.
Yeah, baking has always said fuck you. You can't master me yet. But with cooking a pot pie, like doing all the lobster and scallops and stuff like that, which I'm good at lobster. Scallops is something I've been trying to master. But then actually baking, it's a whole different level of difficulty. I'm gonna try to reach out to like Matt from a pre-rec, see if he can give me some tips, because normally when I cook, you can kind of like season and taste to season as you're cooking it. Like if you're cooking like a stew or something like that, you can't really do that with a pie or a pot pie, because essentially you're fucking it all up. So you kind of have to have. What's that?
Baking is history, basically. Like, you can't just throw random fucking ingredients into a fucking pot and shit will happen. Like, you got, like, there's
yeah, well, like, when you're cooking, like, yeah, when you're making, like, gumbo or, like, etouffee, you can be like, all right, it needs a little bit more acidity, it needs a little bit more spice, a little paprika, swing paprika, whatever the fuck it is. You can kind of, like, tinker with it as you're cooking. But when you have a pie, or especially, like, a pot pie, like I want to cook, like, essentially you get all the ingredients, and then you put it in there, and then you have to bake it. You can't really be like, all right, is it too bland now? Do I need to add more seasoning to it? Because you don't know, because essentially the crust is being cooked while all your ingredients are inside. So that's going to be like a challenge that I'm going to have to kind of figure out. So I'm trying to push my cooking level to a different XP point during quarantine times. So whatever, just... And then also, I did tell myself I was going to try to. I gave it a little goal of myself to read every issue of Unlimited X-Men. I mean, Ultimate. What's it called? Uncanny X-Men, because it's on Marvel Unlimited. And I was going to read either all the Ultimate Spider-Mans. I was like, well, let me just read an issue a day, because we're not going to be out of quarantine anytime fucking soon. So let me get some read on, but. Sometimes I get annoyed with Marvel Unlimited because they don't have the entire full run of all the issues. With Uncanny X-Men, it looks like they got all 500 issues of it. So I was like, all right, I can start from 1963 and work my way all the way up just to sort of do that and just kill time. So I'll do that, and maybe I'll live tweet it out or something like that, just so I can document my adventure through that.
That sounds awesome.
Well, just to kind of piggyback off of Stitch, so Stitch has been talking about doing an Among Us gameplay on Friday.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think if we can't, so the cap of people you can have in the group is 10. I think if there's a point where we can't get 10, I think it'd be kind of fun to like let the group know, like, hey, this is the code that you can access and you can play along with us.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of more gaming, also, I'm supposed to squad up with one of the guys from one of the admins from Culture Junkies to do some Star Wars Squadrons. So we're gonna try to Twitch it out. I'm gonna try to like either co-stream or just post the stream either after or whatnot. And then Cronus and I, we didn't get to talk about Star Trek Discovery,
We'll
which
talk.
which was started back last week.
Yeah, we'll,
So,
we'll talk about it next week. But real quick, something that you said. Sorry, Prodigy, I know you're trying to get out of here, and so am I. So, but you were just talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. You thought it came out earlier this year. It's actually not even out yet. So it comes out next week. And if you happen to get one, because I pre-ordered it, and I was like, I didn't get it. I was like, did they fuck up my orders again? But it comes out on the 28th, and apparently they're shorted by 130,000. So
Goddamn.
they're selling the number one for $50.
oh my god!
Whoa.
So hopefully I get my copy because it'll be worth a bunch of money.
Wait, so I know this month the Batman versus Batman Beyond comes out. Do you know if that's if there's any value now? Because I feel like that might have a little bit more money than maybe not.
No, when things get shorted is when they make a bunch of money, or when it's like a new character, like with Punchline. So yeah.
All right, I think I have to come to the store to make sure I get that Batman versus Batman Beyond.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
All right, yeah, real quick. If you're listening to me and you're in the U.S., try to register to vote, or if you can, try to vote early. And one last piece of pro tip: if you're able to, not everybody's able to, but I took the whole voting day or election day off. I just want to see what the fuck madness is going to happen from my couch, because I've already done the voting. So if you can, take it off and have a hopefully relaxing day, and either watch the world burn or riots in the streets. Who knows?
Has everybody voted yet on the podcast?
What's up?
Has everybody voted yet on the podcast? Because I voted already.
Yeah.
So my ballot's completed. I think I'm going tomorrow to drop it off.
Yeah. I'm still settling into a new house, so lots of boxes everywhere and whatnot.
Like you're in a Japanese fucking room.
Yeah, I'm in my sunroom, so not a bad space. So far, so good. Weird adjusting to sleeping in a new place, but and that's only because I've been watching that Haunting of Hell House. But it's all good.
And watch out for that lake lady.
Yeah, there you go. And then last but not least, this is a PSA. Whatever Aisha Curry is doing, stop it. Go back to cooking. Go back to just being Steph's wife. What in the fuck is going on? You look kind of weird. I'm sorry. Something's wrong with you. Something's off.
She was thirst trapping earlier.
Yeah, something's off. Something's off. You know how much I love the Currys, but girl, this ain't it. All right, take us out, old ninja.
All right, you just experienced the Dinkins podcast and the internet with Black and Black Times Infinity. We are now officially on iHeartRadio, so check us out there. We're officially now on Spotify. We're on Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Stitcher, One Republic, or Radio Republic. Sorry. What am I? Oh, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. We're not on Snapchat because we don't need that. We're not 15, but whatever. Check our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTI, spelled BTHANBTI. Check us out also on, what am I missing? Oh, Amazon. Amazon's the last one. We actually have a mini app on there. We'll let you know when we go live. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, SoundCloud, whatnot, be the BTI.
We promise not to show our dicks on air.
Yes.
Only Prodigy promises that.
Yeah.
That's his own personal promise.
Skate.
Yeah, he is. Deuces.